From Mansion Park in Altoona, welcome to the District 6 Class A Championship game. Tonight, the Homer-Center Wildcats and the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders. With Ward Hilliard, I'm Mark Burdick from this beautiful stadium and great press box, Ward, that they have treated us very good at the Altoona Area School District. And this sounds familiar. Homer-Center, Bishop Guilfoyle. Let me think about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Who would have?
5 times in 8 years. 4th time in a District 6 Class A championship. Could I call both teams over this stretch maybe dynasties?
Possibly. I think Guilfoyle has a pretty good claim on that, but they've been to the state game and have won it a few times. So definitely a difficult team to play, but the Wildcats seem to play their best when they play against Bishop Guilfoyle, and we're sure hoping that happens again tonight.
Some fans may not realize not only is this the District 6 championship, but it's also a state playoff game. It's a quarterfinal matchup. The winner of tonight's game will move on to the semifinals next week against District 2 champion Old Forge, or another familiar team to Homer-Center, Stilton Highspire, from District 3, the champions. So the Wildcats have a tall order tonight, as is generally the case when you're meeting the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders. They are 6-2, Homer-Center 6-1 in this truncated season. The Wildcats' lone loss, 43-42 to Penns Manor at home in a wild one. Other than that, they have been perfect. Bishop Guilfoyle, well, they won a game, but then they lost a game. I said to Jerry Rossi, who will be doing our stats tonight, Jerry, Justin Wheeler, in his 11th season, is the only coach I know of that won his 100th game twice. He did it against Forest Hills in Week 2, 48-0, but then a self-reported violation. It never really did come out. It doesn't really matter. They did the right thing. They ended up forfeiting. So after losing to Richland 19-10 in the season opener, all of a sudden they're 0-2. They're worried if it's a reduced field in Class A. Bishop Guilfoyle maybe left on the outside looking in. Of course, they went with the expanded field. It didn't matter. Bishop Guilfoyle hasn't lost since, and Wheeler got his 100th win the following week at Somerset. So they are 6-2. They've had 4 shutouts this season, counting the Forest Hills game, which was 48-0. I'm counting it because it was played on the field. They have not given up a point in the District 6 Class A playoffs again. So it's going to be a tall order for Homer-Center, but on the other side, it's going to be a big challenge for Bishop Guilfoyle, too, facing Homer-Center's offense.
Yeah, it's a little different than what they saw last week. I said that the one weakness that the purchase line brought was that they relied heavily on run. When they could not run the ball, they were unable to really get any kind of play action going, any kind of a passing game. And Guilfoyle pretty much had their way with them. Not the case with the Wildcats. The Wildcats much more diversified. It all revolves around Ben Schmidt. He's like the sun in the universe there. Everything goes around him. He makes it go, but he can throw, he can run, and that combination is going to present some challenges for Guilfoyle. Hopefully some that they can't meet.
Guilfoyle, 41 after a forfeit win over Bishop McCourt. They opted out of the playoffs. They didn't have to play an opening round game, the Marauders, and they had a COVID issue that they were battling. And then I mentioned back-to-back shutout victories, 41-0 on a Saturday afternoon at Conemaugh Valley, and 35-0, a game we called from this very booth last Saturday night. Homer-Center, they had a first-round bye, number 2 seed overall, and they defeated Williamsburg 35-24 at the friendly confines of Memorial Field, and then followed that up last Friday with an impressive 27-14 victory over Juniata Valley. They gave up 2 touchdowns on the first 2 possessions to the Hornets, but then the defense shut it down, did not give a point to the Hornets the rest of the way. And I think from Homer-Center, looking at things objectively, I think that's going to be one of the keys in the game that we will cover as the pregame show moves forward. By the way, you're listening to the Bruno's Italian Restaurant pregame show. Bruno's Italian Restaurant. Italian doesn't get any better. Philadelphia Street in downtown Indiana. I think the key word for Homer-Center, how well can they play defense? Can they stop the Bishop Guilfoyle offense?
Yeah, and I think it all starts up front. Their line needs to play well. Unfortunately, they're going to be confronted with a team that can shuffle their line in. They have an offensive line, a defensive line. Guilfoyle does, so that gives them fresh people on both sides. That's going to be a problem for Homer's kids. But if they do what I think they did last week, and I thought I saw a difference in their approach after that second score, they attacked a little more. They got more aggressive, and they're going to have to do that tonight, Mark. Kind of get in the face of those Guilfoyle kids before they can get pushed back. We'll see what happens.
We will see what happens. We'll be hearing from both coaches on our Bruno's Italian Restaurant pregame show. Had a very nice talk with Justin Wheeler yesterday afternoon. We'll have that in a little while. And, of course, head coach Greg Page, as always. This is the 7th all-time meeting between the two schools, 5th since 2013, incredibly. All-time series tied 3-3. Two teams met in the regular season way back in the 1960s, with Homer-Center winning 14-6 in 1968, Marauders 21-0 in 69, and then we've had this incredible series going, and it's really developed into a rivalry. These two teams have been so steady. Homer-Center claimed the District 6 title in the snow here at Mansion Park in 2013, 22-12. And then BG defeated Homer-Center in the championship game in 2016, 52-6, hoping not for a repeat there. In between then, as we move to 2017, 59 straight wins and 3 state titles for Bishop Guilfoyle. And guess who ended it? You know the answer. The Homer-Center Wildcats in 2017, perhaps one of the greatest upsets in PIAA football history, 20-14. It propelled the Wildcats to a win over Steelton High Spire down the road at Hollidaysburg a week later, and then to the state championship game, the only Indiana County high school football team to advance to a state title game, even though they came up short against Jeanette.
Yeah, it goes quite a ways, and you know, that you mentioned that 14-6 game. That was here, and I was here. I got to see that game. Same situation. If you see the players behind us, Guilfoyle has 51 dressed players. Homer's got about 30, and that was the same way that particular night. But the Wildcats took it to them, and they beat them. Ed Anderson will tell you about the touchdown that didn't happen.
In the 1960s, right?
Yeah, 1968. Remember it well. Tom Buffalo.
You're dating yourself.
I know I am, but I was proud to be there.
We're going to come back, by the way, if you're listening on the radio, tonight's game also being video streamed, Renda Digital TV, in cooperation with the Homer-Center Comm Media Department, their students. Our executive producer on the radio side is Michael Burdick. He just played that music in my headset, which means it's time to go to break on the Bruno's Italian Restaurant pregame show. Our video executive producer, he's right next door. That is Dee Ober from SeaWorld Satellites. I have Dish Network. You should too. Call SeaWorld Satellites of Indiana. We're going to come right back into our S&T Bank broadcast booth for another segment before we get to both coaches as our Bruno's Italian Restaurant pregame show continues. It's the Marauders and the Wildcats again, the District 6 Class A Championship on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
Remodeling, save yourself some steps and march to PenningtonSpecialty.com. Randy George at Pennington Specialty takes pride in every job, and you'll see that when you march into PenningtonSpecialty.com. Contact Randy George at Pennington Specialty for a free quote. If you're talking construction of any kind, you should be talking to Randy George at Pennington Specialty. One visit to PenningtonSpecialty.com and you'll see why people have been marching to Pennington Specialty for years. Randy George is also a grad of Homer-Center and is Wildcat proud and wishes the team the best of luck on their march to a district championship.
Maybe you've heard of the Colonial Experience, but did you know that that begins before you even walk in the door? At ShopColonialCars.com, we bring you a convenient way to begin your car shopping experience. Browse our selection of vehicles, and then come on in for the rest of the Colonial Experience. That's a lifetime warranty, lifetime state inspections, and more on your new vehicle, and a promise to keep working for you, even after you drive off the lot. Because giving you unparalleled service is what we do. ShopColonialCars.com.
Seeing our kids suit up for football, cheerleading, or band are once-in-a-lifetime moments our parents just don't want to miss.
Current conditions have changed the way we enjoy athletic events. We appreciate every opportunity to watch our kids perform, even if that looks a little different this year.
As a community bank, we're happy to partner with Renda Broadcasting's coverage of Heritage Conference football games. We are proud parents and supporters of our local schools.
Congratulations and good luck to all students, staff, and everyone involved.
For more than 100 years, the Indiana Regional Medical Center has been your #1 health option, always striving to bring you the latest, most innovative medical care, like urgent care, now available in Indiana at MedExpress at 2128 Oakland Avenue. IRMC and MedExpress have formed an exciting new partnership for urgent care services. So when you have a cold or the flu, you've injured yourself and need diagnostic services for a sprain or fracture, your lab work, or have some non-emergency health issue, visit MedExpress, 2128 Oakland Avenue in Indiana.
Make this up. Recently, my wife was in an accident in a drive-thru purchasing coffee. A truck rammed her from behind. Fortunately, she's okay, but our SUV wasn't. This is the voice of the Wildcats, Mark Burdick. And through the years, we have had our fair share of fender benders in our home, and every time we have called on Arone Auto Body for our collision repair. I've known Frank and the team at Arone's for a long time, and they deliver the kind of service I feel confident recommending. When you need collision repair, you need Arone Auto Body in Homer City. Take it from me, they do it right, and I have firsthand experience many times over.
That's 7 for you. And we do welcome you back on our Bruno's pregame show. Mention the video stream. You can look it up right on our homepage at WCCSradio.com. Our digital manager, John Smathers, easier than ever. You'll see a link right on our homepage. And they are also, for added coverage tonight, streaming it on our Facebook pages of all 4 websites. So you can find it that way, too. Man, we're going really global, right?
I hope my wife's listening and say hi to the dog for me, too, while you're at it.
Well, let's break this game down very quickly, Ward. One common opponent, that's Purchase Line. Of course, the Wildcats in a Donnybrook back on October 16th in Week 6, 57-48 over the Red Dragons. Last Saturday here, Guilfoyle held Purchase Line to 101 yards, limited Brady Seister to 47 yards. Purchase Line a little more one-dimensional, as you commented on, and Justin Wheeler, as you'll hear in a couple moments, the head coach of the Marauders talked about that fact as well. The Marauders 6-2, Homer-Center 6-1, Wildcats averaging 35.6 points, or I'm sorry, Marauders averaging 35.6 points per game, Homer-Center averaging 45.3. I'd take 45 tonight. Going to be very, very difficult.
Hopefully they won't need that much.
Impressive on the defensive side for Guilfoyle. They're allowing just 7.7 points per game, 4 shutouts. Homer-Center 26.9 points per game. Tonight, Homer-Center has something going for them. Head coach Greg Page. You know what that might be? You know, come on, kid, dead air's a bad thing.
You always give me, yeah, well, it is a bad thing.
What's today's date?
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, and head coach Greg Page is undefeated in Friday the 13th games.
Holy moly,
he
folks.
Is 3-0.
Where else can you go and get this kind of information?
September
Useless.
September 13th, 2007, Homer-Center 41, Salzburg 8. September 13th of 2013, a year they won the district title, 28-6 over Marion Center. October 13th, 2017, a year they won the District 6 title, Homer-Center 35 and West Shamokin 14. Dating back to 1963, because I know you're wondering now, the Wildcats are 12-1 in games played on Friday the 13th.
You got way too much time on your hands.
My wife says I'm in my office at home way too many evenings. All right, we're going to go to break. We're going to come back with more. We'll be setting this up more, but the coaches' reports are up next. Had a chance to talk to Justin Wheeler, and he, by the way, video guys, if you got my email, Zach, very complimentary of what we've done on the broadcast side. You'll hear his comments on that and a whole lot more, especially some fine comments on Homer-Center quarterback Ben Schmidt. If you missed it today, Tony Kanya, the sports editor of the Indiana Gazette, superb article on Ben Schmidt. Hopefully you can pick it up if you're not a subscriber. Definitely worth the read. Thank you, Tony C., for saluting Homer-Center's Ben Schmidt. Coming back with Justin Wheeler, we'll follow that up with Homer-Center 14th year head coach Greg Page when our Bruno's Italian Restaurant pregame show continues on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network. We'll talk to you in a little while, everybody.
Hi, Wildcat fans. This is Coach Greg Page. I would like to thank Wildcat Nation for your support, and I especially want to thank the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club for making tonight's video presentation possible. The Bears Midget program has provided a foundation for Wildcat football for decades. Through the growth of the boosters, they now impact many of our sports here at Homer-Center. From our team, we say thank you, Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club, for making a big difference in our community since 1958.
Pediatric Care Center of Indiana and Marion Center are proud to support our student athletes in tonight's game. Each athlete has represented their school district and their community to the best of their ability in these challenging times. Doctors Rizwan and Amina Jabber, physician's assistant Nikki Phillips, and the entire staff at both locations would like to wish all of the athletes best of luck tonight and in the future. The Pediatric Care Center, 2 locations, 119 Professional Center in Indiana and the Mahoning Medical Center, Highway 403 in Marion Center.
No matter who you are or where you are, CNB Bank makes it easy to take care of life's necessities, like paying Uncle Rick back for lunch, or depositing that paycheck for dog sitting. And even if you prefer to bank the more traditional way, we still rock that too.
Welcome to CNB Bank.
Experience better banking at CNB Bank.
The Homer City American Legion Post 493 is proud to sponsor today's broadcast of the Homer-Center Wildcats. The American Legion is proud to be a supporter of our community and amateur athletics. As you enjoy games at Memorial Field in Homer City, remember it was built over 70 years ago as a lasting remembrance of the brave men and women who have proudly served and sacrificed for our great nation. Good luck, Wildcats, from American Legion Post 493 in Homer City. Is your car ready? The incredible tire sale is on at Freedom Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Northern Cambria. Buy 3 tires, get the 4th for $1. Buy 3 tires, get the 4th for $1. Stop in or call Freedom about the most trusted tire brands available. They're all buy 3, get the 4th for $1. Ask about additional super service specials too. Nobody does tires and service like Freedom Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Northern Cambria. For more information, call their lucky number at 814-948-7777.
Call Larry Catless, financial advisor of Eagle Strategies LLC, a registered investment advisor for all of your financial planning needs. Registered representative offering securities through Nilife Securities LLC, member FINRA SIPC, a licensed insurance agency. Office located at 674 Philadelphia Street, Indiana, PA. Eagle Strategies LLC and Nilife Securities LLC are New York Life companies. Call this number. It's never too late. 463-7788.
Our pregame show from Mansion Park Stadium continues, and as promised, 11th year head coach Justin Wheeler of the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders. And Coach, we meet again, right? This is kind of crazy. 5th meeting in the past 8 years, I guess a tribute to both your program and head coach Greg Page's Homer-Center program.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. It seems like we might as well just pencil it in the schedule beginning of the year, because it seems like somehow we find a way to each other. But that's a testament to how far both teams go, I think. So, some schools don't know necessarily if they're going to make it into the playoffs or what they're going to do, but Homer-Center BG, one of those that we're going to make the playoffs and we're going to find a way to meet each other. So good stuff.
Coach, I have, of course, talked to Greg on a regular basis dating back to the summer, and what a crazy year, challenging year it's been, and our heart goes out to those who have been affected by COVID-19, and really I think all of us have been affected in some way. And I'm glad that the student athletes in particular have had the opportunity to get as many competitions in, because let's face it, it's been a real roller coaster ride. Is there even going to be football? Do you feel the same way? And
yeah, I think this has been such an emotion of a roller coaster ride. Let's go back to March and not knowing and everything being new, the lockdowns, the quarantines, the stuff that was going on. And then it seemed like we got to summer and things started to open back up, and we started back into 7-on-7s and got things rolling and got workouts in, and everything seemed to be going great. And then right before the season, it was just, man, there's not going to be a season. And we were, thrown back into that kind of nervousness of was there going to be one. And then just on the edge of the seats waiting for votes to come in for the PIAA and their decision. It was just so stressful. I think such a mental, and I think that's the part sometimes that gets missed. And there's some studies coming out of Wisconsin about the depression and suicide rates and drug use and how much it increased, and how much we all as coaches and people in school realize that part of that has to do with getting back and getting into schools and getting into sports. So I'm glad the PIAA really looked out for the student athletes' health. And I know they're doing that with COVID, but also their mental health. It got us a chance to play. And every week, it's just like, you've been telling this to kids and way back, hey, play everyone like it's your last down because you don't know if you're going to get hurt. But this year, it really is true. You play every down, play every game like it's your last, because with COVID, it might be you might get shut down. So, we're pretty fortunate to be still playing football for sure.
That's for sure. Well, let's talk about tonight's game. Give me your impressions of Homer-Center.
Yeah, I mean, I think, we've got to face them so many times, what you're going to know what to expect at least. And that is, just tough, disciplined kids. Coach Page and his coaching staff just does a great job getting those kids prepared. And this year they're a little more wide open. It's they're throwing the ball even more. They're with the quarterback that you have at Homer-Center, it really makes it nice as for coaches, I'm sure, to really call and do things that you might not normally feel comfortable with because you have such a great and outstanding player in the quarterback. So we know we have to try to limit him. No one's going to stop a kid with that kind of talent and played as many games as he's played. But it'll be a tough task. Last week we saw something similar, but without the passing threat. And this week, you can't quite sell out to the run because they have athletes and have a quarterback that'll put the ball on the money. So it's going to be a bigger challenge than we have faced in a while.
Probably even from a distance, it's interesting for you to look at a kid like Schmidt with how he's grown and matured from his freshman to his senior year.
Yeah, we got to play him again throughout the career too. So it's like going to be maybe the third time we've got the chance to see him. But and the progression has just been incredible. I saw him live last week play again, and I knew I was going to be impressed just because you know who he is. But when you see him live and see how he makes plays and how he turns sometimes a bad play or a bad thing that happens and turns it into a touchdown. And he's reading better as far as the looking at the defense and picking the receivers that he has matchups with, and he's comfortable back in the pocket. Where early on you thought you got pressure on him, you might have made him make some tougher decisions. But that's growth, that's coaching, and that's growth. And he has really become a true dual threat quarterback. He can beat you either way, and he does it every week. So he has the consistency, and you can just tell the confidence he has leading the team.
Justin, your defense has really been special this year. You allow only 7.7 points per game. You hold purchase line to 101 total yards. Is it fair to say that the defense led the way and the offense has certainly made a lot of strides as this season has gone along?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good thing. We bring back, I think 8 starters from that defense from last year that went and played in the state championship. So in general, we've really forced teams to take 3 or 4 yards if they can get them and try to do that consistently for 60, 70, 80 yards. And in high school, it's tough to do. And we've been able to make enough plays to keep teams out of the end zone. So yeah, we really have been good defensively. We probably haven't faced a kid quite as talented as Schmidt. So we'll see how we handle it tonight. But we definitely have some speed on that defensive side, which helps make up for some things. And offensively, it's always the same. Didn't get as much work in the offseason, didn't get as much time together. And so it's just taking some time to figure some pieces out and to get guys going. And we replaced 3 linemen, which we needed to work on. And I think right now we're starting to come together. And offensively and defensively, we're playing pretty well. And so hopefully that continues.
Justin, what kind of game do you expect tonight?
Well, if it's anything like the past games, it's going to be a physical. Homer-Center always brings kids with, this isn't a team that's going to walk in and be intimidated. We know it's going to be a tight game. They have a bunch of seniors, including Schmidt, who's not going to go down without a fight, and we better be ready to go. And in years past, they have been one of the teams that have been able to get after us and do some things both offensively and defensively to disrupt us. So we've been watching film of these years and some of the previous years with our kids and letting them know this is going to be a true championship game. We're going to get talented kids on both sides competing at the highest level, and something we're glad to see in 2020.
Coach, I appreciate you doing this.
Thank you very much. And then to you, I just wanted to say I got a chance to listen to some of the games that you do, watching some of the scouts, and this year kind of doing stuff. And I think the Indiana County teams that get a chance to have you call the games is what a benefit and what a thing the kids get a chance to be a part of. It's a great call of the game, but it's also now with the video and the stuff that you guys got going, it's truly a professional experience. And I know watching some of that game last week because it's on YouTube, it's impressive. And that's the sentiment from almost everyone that I talk to. Say, hey, did you see that, what they do over there? Like, yeah, it's impressive. So thanks for spotlighting athletes and and focusing on, I know you're out in Indiana County, but, really thank you for what you do for high school sports.
We appreciate that a whole lot. We wish you the best of luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
We're going to visit head coach Greg Page when we come back on the other side of this break. Our pregame show from Mansion Park Stadium continues. You're listening to the District 6 Class A Championship on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
Christy Sweet was diagnosed with breast cancer at just 32 years old. Fortunately, IRMC Cancer Center, in partnership with UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, is just 20 minutes from her home. Today, after chemotherapy, a double mastectomy, and radiation therapy, Christy is cancer-free. Learn more about Christy's story and the world-renowned cancer care right here in Indiana at upmchillman.com/IRMC.
Wildcat fans, this is Coach Greg Page. I would like to thank Wildcat Nation for your support, and I especially want to thank the Homer-Center Area Athletic Booster Club for making tonight's video presentation possible. The Bears Midget program has provided a foundation for Wildcat football for decades. Through the growth of the boosters, they now impact many of our sports here at Homer-Center. From our team, we say thank you, Homer-Center Area Athletic Booster Club, for making a big difference in our community since 1958.
No matter who you are or where you are, CNB Bank makes it easy to take care of life's necessities, like paying Uncle Rick back for lunch or depositing that paycheck for dog sitting. And even if you prefer to bank the more traditional way, we still rock that too.
Welcome to CNB Bank.
Experience better banking at CNB Bank.
Make this up. Recently, my wife was in an accident in a drive-thru purchasing coffee. A truck rammed her from behind. Fortunately, she's okay, but our SUV wasn't. This is the voice of the Wildcats, Mark Burdick. And through the years, we have had our fair share of fender benders in our home, and every time we have called on Arone Auto Body for our collision repair. I've known Frank and the team at Arone's for a long time, and they deliver the kind of service I feel confident recommending. When you need collision repair, you need Arone Auto Body in Homer City. Take it from me, they do it right, and I have first-hand experience many times over.
Welcome you back to Mansion Park Stadium in Altoona with Homer-Center Wildcat head coach Greg Page as we get set for the Wildcats and the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders. The coaches interview being brought to you by Walbeck Insurance. More choices, more savings. Walbeck Insurance in Homer City. And Coach, it's hard to get to a District 6 championship game, but here you are at Mansion Park once again, fourth time in 8 years, and lo and behold, it's the Wildcats and the Marauders once again.
Yeah, I guess there's no surprise there that if we're going to make it again, that they're going to be the favorite to be there. That's for sure. And we're excited, proud of our kids, our assistant coaches, the school and the community to be representing them in another District 6 championship game, and we're going to give it our best shot.
Always fun when you're on a playoff run like you've been once again, and we've been so spoiled really since you took over this program, but a nice send-off for the team and a good crowd coming out, lining the streets, all of the emergency vehicles. That was a lot of fun. We took part in it as well.
Yeah, just great community support. I mean, what else can you say? They get excited for moments like this, and in all sports really, and we're grateful to be representing them.
Such a challenging year for so many. I mentioned this to you on our preview video that we recorded yesterday, but football kind of pales in comparison, I guess you might say, with everything that's going on in the world. And I spoke to Coach Justin Wheeler about this as well, and it's been a roller coaster going back to March, and I think everyone feels fortunate for the students, the student athletes that we've gotten to this point and have gotten so many games in, and really not just football, all sports and activities.
I agree. There's a lot of things that have been going on. You know, like I said in a previous interview, it's been a blessing I think our kids have handled it great, as I'm sure they have at other schools. And I told our guys the other day, I said, with the uncertainty of how the spring and the summer went, we weren't sure how things were going to go. And I think everybody held on to some faith that they were going to get an opportunity. Is this the most important thing in the world? No, it's not. There's a lot of other things and issues going on, and we hope everybody's going to be okay. But for kids and their present day and time, they want to have these things to hold on to and these memories to make. So I'm happy for them.
Well, the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders, I had the opportunity to call their game at Mansion Park right here last Saturday night against Purchase Line, a 35-0 victory. They haven't allowed a point in the playoffs. Of course, they had a forfeit win to start things out against McCourt, and then back-to-back shutouts against Conemaugh Valley and Purchase Line. Your thoughts on the Marauders? They appear to be formidable on both sides of the ball, as they generally are.
I think they're outstanding again, yeah. They came up just short in the state championship game last year. A lot of those kids are back. They lost a couple key performers, but the bulk of those guys are back and they're good. They're talented, they have size, quick on defense, and the thing that can never be understated is they are very well coached.
Yeah, I agree, and their quickness, it's funny you point that out. I was going to ask you about that, particularly defensively, very strong up front. Very impressed last week with Cameron Maloney, a 5'11", 220-pound senior tackle who had a big game against Purchase Line. But they had good speed, athleticism in the linebacker group, and the secondary strong. Of course, I think you'll stress them a little bit more. No offense to Purchase Line, but a little different offense that the Marauders are going to face this week.
I hope we can. I mean, in a spread offense, you got to try to make them defend a lot of the field as well. And we have a couple decent athletes. I think they have some very good athletes, and I really don't see a weakness on their defense, because even their interior guys, as you pointed out, are solid guys. They don't weigh a whole lot, but they can move, and they're tough. I mean, Maloney and Adrian Johnson for inside interior tackles, and Janashik, I know, is getting some college looks as a big physical kid. And their linebackers are good, solid kids, and their secondary are going to be their best athletes. So, we have to find some things where we can get some space, but it all starts up front.
Yeah, it usually does, right? Well, Coach Wheeler had a lot of high praise, as you would suspect, for your senior quarterback, Ben Schmidt, who became the all-time leading rusher last year, too. What record doesn't he have? One thing that'll keep you and me on our toes in your defense, you don't know who's going to get the snap from center. They'll use at least 3 quarterbacks, right, with their starter, Connor Kiesewetter, got to get that right. And they'll also use Keegan Myrick and the young man that transferred in from Southern Huntington, Hayden Garner. I mean, they used them all effectively last week.
Yeah, I mean, kids about the 175 to 180 pound range. Good lean kids. They can move. They're athletic. And the thing of it is, they can all throw, catch, and run. So, when you see them lining up, I know in their mind it's probably share the wealth, and I think they do it well. It comes down to us. It's like anything else. When you're going to have that kind of diversity that you're facing offensively, you got to get lined up right. You have to be physical, and then you have to close in and tackle well.
Well, what has to happen for the Wildcats to win a 5th District 6 championship tonight?
That previous point right there, defensively. Yep. When we've played well in those games in the past, turnovers and penalties have been limited. I think I recall in 17, I don't even know if there was 2 penalties on us, and I think we protected the ball well too. And the third phase is going to come into play too. They have a nice kicker. Yep. We have to be better on coverages, and we have to make something happen there. We just can't hurt ourselves in that area. And our kids just need to go out and be loose and have fun.
All right. Well, you like when I bring up these unique stats, so I'm going to throw one at you to close things out, okay?
Yeah.
As a head coach at Homer-Center,
Friday the 13th.
You've never lost a game on Friday the 13th.
Well, if the trend continues, I'll take it.
Coach, thanks for doing this. Good luck. It would be a fun ride home if you can win in advance.
That would be great. Thank you guys very much.
Head coach Greg Page joining us. Our pregame show from Mansion Park Stadium will continue. Ward Hilliard will rejoin me from our S&T Bank broadcast booth when we come back to the stadium. District 6 Class A Championship coverage continues. It's one more time, Bishop Guilfoyle and Homer-Center on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
Hi, Wildcat fans. This is Coach Greg Page. I would like to thank Wildcat Nation for your support, and I especially want to thank the Homer-City Area Athletic Booster Club for making tonight's video presentation possible. The Bears Midget program has provided a foundation for Wildcat football for decades. Through the growth of the boosters, they now impact many of our sports here at Homer-Center. From our team, we say thank you, Homer-City Area Athletic Booster Club, for making a big difference in our community since 1958.
This is the Tire Man, James Cypress from Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center at Luther Ford, with bad news and some good news. The bad news is winter is coming. The good news, if you need tires, we can help. Buy 3 tires and you'll get the 4th one free. Plus, we offer at least 8 of the most popular tire brands in the country. The Tire Man will also throw in free lifetime tire rotation and a free alignment check. We will match or beat any competitor's price. But hurry, offer ends November 30th at Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center at Luther Ford, Route 119, Homer City.
Really love the holidays at Graham Graham's, but it's tough to
relax.
The dish guy heard us. Said with the Dish Anywhere app, we could bring the comfort of our home TV along with us. Live TV, on demand, even our DVR shows.
Feel good shows.
That put us right at ease. Mostly.
So many eyes.
Take live TV, on demand, and your home DVR anywhere. Dish, tuned into you.
Of Marcus & Mack is right here. Unique technological capabilities allow your claim to be processed by phone, text, or email without you ever having to leave your home. Contact the law office of Marcus & Mack. Get all the compensation you deserve.
I'm Dave Jr. of Bork Farms in Homer City. We're celebrating our first anniversary of offering a great selection of our own farm-grown freezer beef cuts. And we couldn't have done it without your support. Don't worry where your beef comes from, because at Bork Farms, it's beef from the beginning. Stop by our beautiful store at Bork Farms on Neal Road in Homer City. We've added some great new items. You can also visit our Facebook page or call us at Bork Farms, 724-479-0656.
Cup statistician
For Bishop Guilfoyle, left end will be Cooper Rother. He's a senior, 5'10", 165. The left tackle, Reed Edwards, a junior, 6'2", 236. Left guard is Colin Butler, junior, 6'1", 243. Brendan Schaefer, the center, a senior, 6'4", 264. Right guard, Anthony Edwards, junior, 6'2", 285. Right tackle, Evan Himes, senior, 6'1", 286. The tight end will be Andrew Janaszak. He is a senior at 6'3", 241. That's a pretty big front. In the backfield, Connor Kiesewetter will be the quarterback, senior, 6 foot, 172. Keegan Myrick, you'll hear his name a lot. He's a senior, 6 foot, 171. Another one, Hayden Garner, junior, 6'2", 177. Fullback will be Zach McCloskey. He is a senior, 5'10", 185. For the Wildcats, left end again, tight end Shane Shady McCoy, senior, 6 foot, 206. Left tackle Isaiah Bentz, junior at 6'4", 254. Sometimes you'll see Nick Manzanilla in there, a senior at 6'1", 241. Sage Bernard's the left guard, a junior at 5'9", 231. Center's Micah Hurd. He's a senior at 6'1", 217. Vinny Tagliati is the right guard, a sophomore at 5'9", 207. Right tackle is Mike Yunt, junior at 6'4", 254. And Drew Kaufman will be the right end, senior at 5'10", 168. In the backfield, Ben Schmidt, senior, 6'1", 205. Colin Troop will be the running back, junior at 5'10", 173. He'll be joined back there by Michael Krajosik at 5'10", 155. And on the other side, you'll see Travis Mock, a senior at 5'8", 171. Mark?
All right, starting lineups brought to you by Maine's Chiropractic, adjusting today for a better tomorrow. You see what I have in my hand here, right?
The Mistretta meter.
The Mistretta meter.
Famous Mistretta meter.
I thank you for wearing your white gloves, taking it out of the case.
Yeah, we need to do some plating on that to protect it a little bit.
Yes, we need a harder shell case.
Yes, by
Two
all
winning
means.
teams that have been around Homer City for a long time, the Wildcats and Mistretta Distributing in Homer City. Mistretta has all of your favorite beverages, and they're open 7 days a week, 8 to 7, Monday through Saturday, noon to 4 on Sundays. Mistretta Distributing, Route 119, Homer City. It's kind of an open and shut case, with Dick Mistretta.
That's bad.
Well, I had it marked down, too. That makes it worse.
If you want to have a good discussion, though, about anything athletic in Homer-Center, you stop in, sit on those soft chairs that Dick has, and just have a talk.
Had a nice talk with him the other day. Also, during the course of the game, we will be giving away some gift certificates from Bruno's. We'll be giving away a manicotti dinner, a lasagna dinner, stromboli with 2 toppings, large 2-topping pizza, and an order of 6 wings each and every quarter. So stay tuned throughout the game, and we will have those announcements for you. And the cue to call, the number 724-479-1160. So mark that number down and be ready, 724-479-1160. We may give you the cue to call any time during each and every quarter. Fans, can you believe IRMC at Chestnut Ridge been over 10 years that they've been open? Back September of 2009, and they have UrgentCare open 7 days a week when minor illness or injury strikes. 7 days a week at both locations. IRMC at Chestnut Ridge, UrgentCare open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. IRMC at Chestnut Ridge, Old Route 22 next to Chestnut Ridge Golf Resort in Blairsville. Get in, get out, get better. Fans, that's the Bruno's Italian Restaurant pregame show. Stay with us for the opening kickoff. The Wildcats will receive when we come back to Mansion Park Stadium. They meet for the 5th time in 8 years. Homer-Center and Bishop Guilfoyle. Guilfoyle has certainly won their fair share of championships, 6 of them to be exact. Coming back with the opening kickoff after this on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
I'm Dave Jr. of Bork Farms in Homer City. We're celebrating our 1st anniversary of offering a great selection of our own farm-grown freezer beef cuts. And we couldn't have done it without your support. Don't worry where your beef comes from, because at Bork Farms, it's beef from the beginning. Stop by our beautiful store at Bork Farms on Neal Road in Homer City. We've added some great new items. You can also visit our Facebook page or call us at Bork Farms, 724-479-0656.
For more than 100 years, the Indiana Regional Medical Center has been your #1 health option, always striving to bring you the latest, most innovative medical care, like urgent care, now available in Indiana at MedExpress at 2128 Oakland Avenue. IRMC and MedExpress have formed an exciting new partnership for urgent care services. So when you have a cold or the flu, you've injured yourself and need diagnostic services for a sprain or fracture, your lab work, or have some non-emergency health issue, visit MedExpress, 2128 Oakland Avenue in Indiana.
For the Marauders, back deep, Homer-Center's Ben Schmidt, Adam Kaufman, Travis Mock. He averages 55 yards per kick, and it takes a bounce at the 6 and rolls dead. Wouldn't you know it? Kaufman has to pick it up, heads far sideline, gets to the 10, to the 15, and he's going to be forced out of bounds by Garner and somebody else across the way. Dylan Conrad.
Not sure what went on back there, Mark. Looked like either guy was waiting for the other one to catch that ball, and they let it hit.
They were expecting that ball to roll into the end zone because, remember, back when Colt McGee was the kicker, he was drilling them to the 1 and 2 yard line, and the Wildcats were fielding them, and they were getting tackled at the 11-yard line. So I think they were warned about that, but that ball just kind of went dead at the 6-yard line.
We'll see what we can do here.
So the Wildcats will start at the 16. Schmidt with Cole McAnulty, I believe. Or is it, we'll see if that's Cole.
It looks like Cole, yes.
Or it's Colin Troop. And they give him the handoff, and he's around the right side for a couple of tough yards. Guilfoyle actually the visiting team on the far sideline. So they're not used to when this is their home stadium. They share it with Altoona. Connor Kiesewetter on the tackle for the Marauders, 6 foot, 172-pound senior. And the Wildcats go quickly on a 2nd down and 8. Wingman to the left, and Ben's going to throw, and he has a man underneath. It's dropped by Drew Kaufman, and you don't see that happen very often. And I think, wasn't it you last week, Ward Hilliard, that said?
It's always me, yeah.
Actually, it was me that said, I don't think I've ever seen Drew Kaufman drop a pass.
That was a little high. I'm wondering if that was intended for him. There was a deeper slant going on behind them, and he was open also. But
so the Wildcats go empty backfield, receivers all over the joint. Ben takes the direct snap from Hurd and rolls to his left. Throws on the run, and it's too tall. Good coverage by Keegan Myrick on Drew Kaufman, and the Wildcats use about 30 seconds, and they go 3 and out. Not the start they were hoping for.
No, it was not. And, again, rolling to the left, Ben really doesn't have a lot of control on that pass. As you can see, it sailed high and wide there.
So I would think the Guilfoyle Marauders' first possession is going to start in Homer-Center territory. Punters, Michael Krajosik, 8 punts, 30.5 yards per punt. Guilfoyle blocked the punt, returned it for a touchdown against Purchase Line last Saturday. Long snappers, McCoy, and the snap is low, but it's handled nicely by Krajosik, and he gets a decent punt out of there. It's going to hit at the 43-yard line and roll toward midfield and into Marauder territory, and going to roll dead at the 45-yard line.
Excellent.
So good job by Michael Krajosik, 37 yards on the punt.
That was kind of risky. The Guilfoyle players were blocking while that ball was bouncing amongst them there. It could have hit one of them, but it did not. So the Wildcats got a break. Nice job by Krajosik to not panic, got it out of there. See what the D can do now. I really need to see this defense step it up right here, Mark.
Marauders' offense averages 35.6 points per game, 243 yards rushing, 101 yards passing, 344 overall. Wildcat defense has gotten better, still allowing 316 yards a game and just about 27 points per game. And the direct snap, and Kiesewetter keeps it, and good defense limits him to about a 2-yard gain. Shady McCoy and Justin Walbeck on the tackle for the Homer-Center Wildcats. So like Homer-Center, Guilfoyle gains 2 yards on their first play from possession, or first play on their first possession.
A good series builds some confidence in this unit, and, they could play a whole lot better if that is the case. It was a good stop there. I like the penetration. They're not waiting to get blocked. That's the good thing.
Guilfoyle, their road uniforms, all white. It's a little bit of trim, purple and gold. They reposition, go tight end left with a wingman to the left, and it's Myrick in motion, and Garner, the transfer from Southern Huntington, the snap a little bit high, and he's going to be tackled in his tracks. Riley Clevenger right there to stop him, and the play disrupted from the beginning. Also, Brock Hauser in there for the Homer-Center Wildcats. Walbeck leads the team despite missing some time with 41.5 tackles. They give him one. Hayden Gardner, heck of a player.
Yeah,
Walbeck out.
Just limped off, and he's in considerable pain right now.
He's had that knee issue. Want to say hello to his dad, Rob. Rob, hopefully you're doing well. Mason Bell in there defensively in that middle linebacker position. Sidecar to the left. Let's see who the quarterback is. They'll use 3 of them. And good protection. They're going to throw down the seam, and a guy breaking open. That is Kieswetter as he got by Krajosic, who drags him down at the 2-yard line. So on a 3rd down and 7, ouch, that hurts. It goes for about 45 yards.
Boy, the one thing you don't want to have happen is somebody get behind you on 3rd and long, and that's exactly what went wrong there. Good pass. You got to give them credit. They made a nice connection on that, but nevertheless.
Who threw that ball, Ward? It was Kieswetter hauled it in. Must have been Garner.
I think it was Garner, but honestly, I did not see. I was watching downfield.
So it's 1st and goal from the 2-yard line, and a 50-yard gain on that pass play.
Oh, that hurt. That really did hurt. They were playing very well. They even got some decent pressure on the quarterback.
And taking the direct snap is Kieswetter off left tackle into the end zone. And they capitalize off of that big 3rd down and 7, 50-yard pass play. And it's 6-0 Guilfoyle with 8:57 remaining in the first quarter.
And one thing that Hummers had a slight advantage on teams all season long was the speed at their D-backs. This team that Guilfoyle brings in here has got speed also, and I think Homer just realized that.
Kicker is Devin Wyatt. He's 19 of 19 in the extra point department this season out of the hold of Adam Chadbourne. The snap is put down by Chadbourne and plenty of leg, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. 7-0. 4-play, 55-yard drive. Took 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Guilfoyle out early in this football game in this District 6 championship. Coming back with more. First quarter being brought to you by Bertig Landscaping. We'll be back with a BG kickoff after this on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
Grown-ups, your car is now your office, stage, nursery. Sorry, Erie Insurance offers products that lots of other companies don't. That's a big deal, and it's a good deal too. And with Erie, you get your own independent agent, not a giant corporate call center or some online robot. You meet with a real person, like this.
Your local Erie agent is Hutton Blues Insurance. 724-397-ERIE or visit huttonblues.com.
Erie Insurance.
Seeing our kids suit up for football, cheerleading, or band are once-in-a-lifetime moments our parents just don't want to miss.
Current conditions have changed the way we enjoy athletic events. We appreciate every opportunity to watch our kids perform, even if that looks a little different this year.
As a community bank, we're happy to partner with Renda Broadcasting's coverage of Heritage Conference football games. We are proud parents and supporters of our local schools.
Congratulations and good luck to all students, staff, and everyone involved.
Back with you, and Wyatt's kick is into the end zone for a touchback. It worried me there for a moment, Ward, because if it lands at the 2, Homer-Center had kind of given up on that and assumed it was going to go into the end zone. This time it did. Hey, we want to say hello to Tom and Ed Anderson. They're watching our video stream in Chandler, Arizona. I remember Tom and Ed, and you know them well, too.
Very well, very well, yeah.
Thanks, guys, for checking in.
I mentioned that 68 game, and Ed don't want this brought up again, but I'm going to bring it up. He ran for a touchdown, except that he ran to the 5-yard line, dropped the ball thinking he was in the end zone, and he never scored on. Great athletes, both of them.
Wildcats empty backfield to start the second possession from their 20. They have a motion man. That is Mock, and Ben's going to keep it up the middle, makes a little cut, and runs through one tackle, but they stop him as he approaches the 24-yard line. We'll see where they put it down. Drew Abraham on the tackle, outside linebacker, a sophomore. They start 10 seniors and at times a junior or a sophomore. It's a very veteran unit. Ben with 3 yards, they put it down at the 23. That extra point by Wyatt, by the way, brought to you by Crimson Wealth Management of Indiana. Call Doug Steve for all of your financial needs. 2nd down and 7. and they're going to give it, and a nice move by Cole McAnulty, who gets it over the 25 to the 27-yard line as he bounced it outside. Cole had not a lot of yardage last week, but an effective game, had some big runs at big times. And that time he gained about 4.
Already Homer is showing that they can move the ball on the ground a little bit. The purchase line could not do that, and part of the reason is the Wildcats run such a spread. They're making it a little easier for their line.
Big play here. 3rd down and 3, and a snap over Ben's head, and he's hit. And did he cough up the football, or did he hang on to it? He does have it back at the 15-yard line, but the snap went through his hands, and that's something that Homer-Center's had difficulty with for whatever reason. Only in the past few games, Hayden Garner laid the hit and dropped them for a loss back to the 17-yard line. So things off to a horrible start here for the Wildcats.
I thought he was looking to make a quick pass, Ben was, and he just kind of took his eye off the ball. He's had that problem of late. I don't know why. But
loss of 10. Krajosik to punt. Gets the kick away pretty good. They come up, think about fielding it. Now they do take it on a big hop and tackled right in his tracks by Anthony Rowland. I think that's Garner with 7-11. 26-yard punt. And Guilfoyle's going to take over at the Wildcat 44-yard line. The Wildcats need to make a stop.
They're going to be looking at 4 downs, too. Guilfoyle's not going to punt from this area. I can guarantee you that. It's going to really test his D. You don't want to get down another score.
Nope, and they had a chance to get off the field on their first possession, but they hit that 50-yard pass play. Well, Keegan Myrick, a receiver to the right. They reposition Andrew Janaszak to a wing left, and Myrick, they hand it off to him, and he darts through an opening and cuts it up and gets inside the 40 down to about the 39-yard line. It was Caden Brown and Drew Kaufman converging to make that tackle for the Homer-Center Wildcats. Myrick, a 6'1", 171-pound senior, played against Homer back in 2018. Entering the game, 109 rushes, 829 yards, a 7.6 average, 10 touchdowns, and he's a good receiver as well. It was he, actually, not Kiesewetter, now that I get the spot on his number, that caught that 50-yard pass. And taking the direct snap and handing it off up the middle, and again, positive yardage inside the 35 down to the 34-yard line. That was Hayden Garner. Mason Bell on the tackle, but it's 3rd down and just a yard to go as we approach the halfway point of this first quarter, 7-0 Guilfoyle.
And Homer D needs to just tighten up. Fumble would be very nice right now.
Yeah, they need something positive. They go H-back to the left with a wing, and the quarterback is Myrick, who takes the direct snap, and he moves it forward for a 1st down, a gain of about 4. He only needed a yard. Michael Yount on the tackle for the Homer-Center Wildcats, along with Caden Brown. Caden playing with that cast on his left hand, and really played admirably last week.
Very much so.
1st and 10 as they move the chains. Guilfoyle looking to really put the Wildcats in a hole here in the first quarter.
Got to dig in here. Again, they shuffle their backs quite a bit, Mark, but the looks are pretty much the same.
Toss right, and it's Myrick trying to get to the edge. He cuts it up, tries getting around Kaufman. Kaufman does make the tackle and ends up spinning him for some extra yardage. It's going to be a pretty good-sized gain of 9 yards to the 9-yard line. That's a play Homer-Center. Anything to the edge, the Wildcats have really struggled with.
They did a little better job defending that, but again, you've got to get that first man back there before he makes that turn. Once he makes the turn, he's going to get 5+. Got almost 10 there.
Defensive end on the left side is Shady McCoy. Right side, Caden Brown. Lineman, Manzanilla and Yount. And Garner going to take the direct snap, and he's going to keep it. Garner through an opening, backs his way for a 1st down and a few more, down to about the 16-yard line. On the tackle, Shady McCoy for Homer-Center. Garner, 45 rushes, 469 yards entering the game. 21 receptions for 325. He's the young man that transferred in this year and filled a void from Southern Huntington. And they had a good ball club that their season was short-circuited by COVID-19. Actually, if you look at the March minutes of PIAA District 6, he was, because it's a PIAA rule, ruled ineligible for the playoffs, but you can appeal it, and it did get overturned. much to the dismay of every BG opponent. Taking the snap is Garner, and he's going to try to get to the corner, and he does. They seal it off. Krajosic trips him up, and he stumbles to the 5-yard line, but it's going to be first and goal, Guilfoyle, as they are in business in the red zone once again.
Yeah, they're clearing out the ends over there, and once he makes that fake inside, the defense collapsed on the play fake, and he takes it around the end, much like Ben does with the Homer's offense.
7-0 Guilfoyle, and they're 5 yards away from adding to it. Keegan Myrick now lines up in the Wildcat and takes it, and the Wildcats trip him up. It might have been Shady McCoy who slid across to make the tackle. Also, Nick Manzanilla, I'm seeing for Homer-Center. A gain of 3 to the 2. Caden Brown also in on that. But second down and goal from the 2-yard line.
Just a terrible start for the Cats. They just couldn't get any kind of field position, and they need to have some success offensively, and they haven't had that to begin with.
H-back to the right, taking the direct snap and not getting to the goal line. Let's see if that is Garner, because they rotate 3 players.
Ben Schmidt made that
Ben
tackle.
Schmidt made the tackle.
He come in. That's what you got to do. You got to get some penetration and get those guys in the backfield.
That was Keegan Myrick on the carry. These numbers are harder to read,
yeah,
aren't
they are. They're
Actually,
tougher than
we're
last
going to do what
week.
we did last week and shut that light off. I think that'll help.
Okay, with you guys? Spotters better? Okay. I'll get out of your way.
So let's see. Taking the direct snap again is Myrick, and he follows the surge from the offensive line. The Wildcats try holding him out, but they can't do it. It's a touchdown for the Guilfoyle Marauders. They stood him up right at the goal line, but he broke the plane. And with 2:46 to play in the first quarter, Bishop Guilfoyle makes it 13-0 as they drive 43 yards.
It's good effort by the D area.
Yeah.
Tight. Just not enough yards for them to work.
3 cracks
fuss
from the
with.
5-yard
Yeah, they were
line.
pretty darn close.
Chadbourne, the holder, snap put down, and the kick is up from Wyant, and it's good. Presented by.
It's no good.
Oh, no good. Yeah, wide left. Presented by Crimson Wealth Management Group of Indiana. See Doug Steve for all of your financial needs. But Guilfoyle, that's the first miss for Devin Wyant this season. 2:46 to play in the first quarter. It's Guilfoyle 13, Homer-Center 0 on an Indiana Regional Medical Center playoff sports night on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
Make this up. Recently, my wife was in an accident in a drive-thru purchasing coffee. A truck rammed her from behind. Fortunately, she's okay, but our SUV wasn't. This is the voice of the Wildcats, Mark Burdick. And through the years, we have had our fair share of fender benders in our home, and every time we have called on Arone Auto Body for our collision repair. I've known Frank and the team at Arone's for a long time, and they deliver the kind of service I feel confident recommending. When you need collision repair, you need Arone Auto Body in Homer City. Take it from me, they do it right, and I have firsthand experience many times over.
Wildcat fans, this is Coach Greg Page. I would like to thank Wildcat Nation for your support, and I especially want to thank the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club for making tonight's video presentation possible. The Bears Midget Program has provided a foundation for Wildcat football for decades. Through the growth of the boosters, they now impact many of our sports here at Homer-Center. From our team, we say thank you, Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club, for making a big difference in our community since 1958.
Okay. That's positive thinking, huh?
Turn up the.
Walbeck limping, and we'll see if he's going to be able to go. We thank Burdick Landscaping for their sponsorship of the first quarter. He did a little bit of work for me, and he charged me too.
How about that?
Yeah.
Oh, the nerve.
I know. We want to say hello to his brother Brian, watching in Columbus, Ohio.
I think Justin's night's over with, though. He just fighting that injury since he got it, and it just doesn't look healthy. This isn't the kind of game he can play halfway either.
After this kickoff, we're going to give our first prize away from Bruno, so be ready to call, but don't call now. I didn't ask the question yet. 724-479-1160. That's what people do, Ward.
True.
Wyant's kick, end over end. It's a good one. As I mentioned, he averages 55.1. That's about 55, almost 56. And Kaufman fills it, drops it, comes around the left corner, and is forced out of bounds. Fortunately, he gets over the 20 to about the 21-yard line. So Homer-Center, as first let me tell you that Carson Kesey-Wetter, the sophomore younger brother of Connor, makes that tackle. What year did Homer-Center beat Guilfoyle and end their 59-game winning streak to claim the school's 4th District 6 championship? Correct caller, 479-1160, 724-479-1160, will win a manicotti dinner.
I'm not eligible, huh?
We'll try to pass the winners along as we get them.
There are votes up here we can't count.
So Ben Schmidt with a sidecar to the right, Wildcats from the 21, and they hand it off, and it's Travis Mock coming near side and tripped up by Keegan Myrick. Myrick defensively, this Guilfoyle team averages allowing 7.7 points per game. They held Purchase Line to 101 total yards last week. Josh Seister, 17 carries, 47 tough yards. We called that, Ward. They are a stingy group.
Yeah, they are. And I think right now Homer's a little hesitant in how they're playing. They're dropping those kickoffs. They just don't look real crisp right now. They got to get a good gain somewhere here.
Ben wants to keep it, runs into Mock, so he cuts it up and makes a nice move to the 30 to the 32, and the Wildcats first down of the football game. McCloskey, the inside linebacker, made that tackle. Second on the team with 51 tackles. McCloskey is a Bishop Guilfoyle name, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. There's a lot of familiar names there. That's Ben being Ben, and the offensive line and the rest of the supporting cast have got to allow him to do that. They've got to give him some blocks. Just give him a slight hole, and he can make something out of it. He did right there.
To the 33, 9-yard gain. Has a sidecar to his right. Again, he bobbles that snap, steps up in the pocket. A lot of white jerseys converging, and they sack him back at the 30-yard line. Colin Butler busted through to make that tackle.
They're having trouble with the exchange here. That was a little high, and it just seems to blow up the entire play.
Mm-hmm.
And,
we do have a winner, so please quit calling. Our producer, Michael Burdig, is getting a lot of calls, which is good. And we'll get that winner passed along to you when we get a moment. But the Wildcats, in the meantime, with a second down and 13, they need to get to the 43 for a first down. It's Mock in the backfield. Double tight end, and Ben wants to keep it. And the snap again bobbled, wasn't it? And he's going to be maybe a 1-yard gain. Stood up by Adrian Johnson. Johnson, a very good football player. Left defensive tackle, third on the team with 48 tackles. Boy, Ward, I'm not sure what the issue is. I look across at the auxiliary scoreboard. It says 43 degrees outside, and certainly they've played in, many of these players, including Ben, in poorer conditions than these.
Well, the snaps are a little high, but they're not the kind that he would be. I think he's really watching the defense before he's catching that, and it just takes his eye off it just enough to bobble it.
Near side receivers Drew Kaufman, twins at the top of your screen if you're watching, and Ben takes the snap, a blitz coming up the middle, and he's going to throw deep, trying to run under it. Kaufman, and he does at the 30, breaks a tackle, and we have a Wildcat touchdown. Heading for the end zone is Drew Kaufman with his 14th touchdown of the season as it goes for 68 yards.
Well, they got one, we got one, so we're even on that. Beautiful throw, under duress, I might add. He just heaved it down the line, and Kaufman got another step on the defender, another great catch. That'll take care of the nerves. Maybe things will settle down here.
Yep, extra point attempt going to be brought to you by Crimson Wealth Management of Indiana. Call Doug Steve for all of your financial needs. Ben, 26 of 31, 84% for the season, out of the hold of the guy that just ran on the catch-and-run touchdown pass covering 68 yards, Drew Kaufman. Shady McCoy, good strong snap, and Ben's kick is up. Ben's kick looks good, and Ben's kick is good. Teams come upfield with 25 seconds. Wildcats needed that answer, and they got it. It's 13-7 Guilfoyle over the Wildcats as they drive very impressively 79 yards. We'll have a Homer-Center kickoff after this on an IRMC Playoff Sports Night on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
Modeling, save yourself some steps and march to PenningtonSpecialty.com. Randy George at Pennington Specialty takes pride in every job, and you'll see that when you march into PenningtonSpecialty.com. Contact Randy George at Pennington Specialty for a free quote. If you're talking construction of any kind, you should be talking to Randy George at Pennington Specialty. One visit to PenningtonSpecialty.com and you'll see why people have been marching to Pennington Specialty for years. Randy George is also a grad of Homer-Center and is Wildcat proud and wishes the team the best of luck on their march to a district championship.
Ball. Waiting, Carter.
First quarter, Guilfoyle with their third possession. The first two have resulted in touchdowns.
Well, the thing that's encouraging is that Homer's skill people are every bit as good as Guilfoyle's. I tell you that right now. And you just saw an example of that right there. They've got to pick it up in the other positions, and they've been doing it so far. Let's see how the line does now.
1st and 10, play action, booting to his right is Garner, and he has a man absolutely wide open, and hauling it in is Cooper Rother into Wildcat territory. Wildcats were fooled badly on the play action, and making that tackle was Ben Schmidt, who recovered, and if not for the pass being behind Rother, he kind of had to turn around and wait for it to get to him. But it goes for big yardage to the Wildcat 28-yard line.
And that's frustrating to give up these big pass plays. This is something that you thought the Wildcats could avoid, but right now they're biting on the run plays.
That's the end of the first quarter. 40-yard pass play to Rother. First quarter in the books. Guilfoyle back in Homer-Center territory to start the second. After one on an IRMC Playoff Sports Night, Bishop Guilfoyle 13, Homer-Center 7 on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
Pediatric Care Center of Indiana and Marion Center are proud to support our student athletes in tonight's game. Each athlete has represented their school district and their community to the best of their ability in these challenging times. Doctors Rizwan and Amina Jabber, physicians assistant Nikki Phillips, and the entire staff at both locations would like to wish all of the athletes best of luck tonight and in the future. The Pediatric Care Center, 2 locations, 119 Professional Center in Indiana and the Mahoning Medical Center, Highway 403 in Marion Center.
No matter who you are or where you are, CNB Bank makes it easy to take care of life's necessities, like paying Uncle Rick back for lunch, or depositing that paycheck for dog sitting. And even if you prefer to bank the more traditional way, we still rock that too.
Welcome to CNB Bank.
Experience better banking at CNB Bank.
Board worth $282. You got to report to the flagpole.
from the 31 to the 27-yard line.
Need a bobble, need a fumbleski, something that can turn this momentum around there. Homer's given up some big plays, and really don't care to see that. That's been the problem all year, though.
Under center, and a quick toss right, and it's Myrick makes a quick jump cut, gets inside the 25 down to the 23. Well, that time they snuck Connor Kiesewetter under his center, Brendan Schaefer, and very quick count, quick toss, and from the 27 to the 23. So they're faced with third down and a deuce. Brock Hauser on the tackle for the Homer-Center Wildcats. Our spotters in the booth, Chris Graham and Jim McLaughlin.
You know, that was a good play by Shady McCoy, though. He got out there and forced that play upfield that somebody needed to make a play a little sooner than what happened. It's a good job by Shady to protect the wing.
Hayden Garner, receiver to the left boundary. They go shotgun with a protector, but they hand it off to him, and that is McCloskey barreling up the middle inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line. He doesn't carry it much, just his 20th carry of the season. Ben Schmidt had to drop him, but they have a first and goal again at the 9-yard line. Their third drive, and they've been effective on all three of them. This one the longest of the three.
Doing a nice job there, a little misdirection play, and the McCloskey just a big bull. It's the way he runs it, straight ahead kind of runner.
Hayden Garner to the right boundary as a receiver, and they have Connor Kiesewetter to the left, and Keegan Myrick keeps it, dives inside the 5 down close to the 3-yard line for Homer-Center. Brock Hauser one more time. Also Caden Brown getting a hand in there, and it will be second down and goal. Yep, you're right, Ward. The Wildcats need something positive to happen. They had the big touchdown pass to Kaufman that got them back in the game, but going to be somewhat demoralizing if Guilfoyle answers right back.
Yeah, they come right back. They had a big play in the start of this drive.
They snap it, and Myrick slithers up the middle. Did he get into the end zone? I don't see a signal as of yet. Line judge comes in, and they unpile, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a touchdown as of yet. There's no signal, and it's going to be third down, less than a yard for a touchdown. Caden Brown held him out of the end zone. But they have inches to go.
Yeah, Homer, the only thing you do is just try to jam the gaps, force the runner to bounce it wide. Somebody has to make some penetration here. Tall order, though.
McCloskey in the backfield, and now a flag, and that might be a 5-yard mark off. Let's see. No signal yet. I don't think Homer-Center jumped, but I didn't see anything obvious. Jim McLaughlin, our spotter, saying offside Homer-Center, but let's see. It is. Come on, Mr. Referee. It is on the defense, offside. Well, they'll move it three quarters of an inch.
They say the nose of the football.
They just flipped it.
You know what? You take a chance. What's the difference? You're down there. You've got to take a chance to do something, try to disrupt that offense. Maybe get them to jump.
Clock restarted. Guilfoyle leading 13-7, trying to extend that lead. Keegan Myrick takes the direct snap, cuts it to the right, and into the end zone he goes. They do extend the lead to 19-7 with 8:57 left. So they've had two 2-yard touchdown runs, and now 1 yard, and that's generous to call it a 1-yard touchdown run.
But nevertheless, they have responded each time, and the Wildcats have just been unable to stop the big play. That's what really set two of these scores up.
Looks like they're going to go for two.
Yeah.
And they send Keegan Myrick, a receiver, to the right toward the Guilfoyle bench. Hayden Garner is the quarterback. They keep you on your toes. No, it isn't Garner. And they're going to run a reverse, and they're going to throw deep end zone, caught by Keegan Myrick. A little bit of razzle-dazzle there from the Marauders, and Homer-Center was fooled badly. And Guilfoyle, quite frankly, they did what good teams do. And we have two good teams here tonight. They answered Homer-Center's score, and they make it 21-7 with 8:57 left in the first half. Indiana Regional Medical Center playoff sports night coverage continues. We'll be back to Mansion Park with a Guilfoyle kickoff after this on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
Really love the holidays at Graham Graham's, but it's tough to
relax.
The Dish guy heard us. Said with the Dish Anywhere app, we could bring the comfort of our home TV along with us. Live TV, on demand, even our DVR shows.
Feel good shows.
That put us right at ease. Mostly.
So many eyes.
Take live TV, on demand, and your home DVR anywhere. Dish, tuned into you.
Every day, businesses find ways to face whatever challenge that day brings. Communities find new ways to come together, and families find more ways to stay connected. At First Commonwealth, we're ready to help you along the way, to help businesses take care of business, to help strengthen communities, and to help our neighbors look forward with confidence to whatever each day brings. We're ready, we care, and we're here to help.
In 21-7, we'll have a Bruno's giveaway for a lasagna dinner when we have right after this kickoff, although we hope Homer-Center returns it the distance. Wyant's kick is a good one, and it's into the end zone. It hits at the half-yard line and rolls through. He's an excellent kicker. I mentioned averages 55.1, and he's been doing every bit of that. So here's the trivia question for you. 724-479-1160 for a Bruno's lasagna dinner. Last week, Ben Schmidt became Homer-Center's all-time leading rusher. Now, I'm looking for two names. Who did he pass last week to become the all-time leading rusher? And who did that player pass to become the all-time leading rusher? So the previous two all-time leading rushers, Ben Schmidt, of course, holds that distinction right now. So with 8:57 to play, Wildcats starting at their own 20, empty backfield. 724-479-1160, and Ben takes the direct snap, and he's dragged down. He just couldn't get by a defender, and that defender was Andrew Janaszek. The defensive end leads the team with 55 tackles, Janaszek. He's getting some college looks, according to 11th-year head coach Justin Wheeler.
Again, that's the thing I'm talking about. You got to give him a little room, Ben, and that's what this offensive line's charge will be. Just try to create a crack and let him get through into that secondary. And I like my odds.
Empty backfield again. They have a wingman. I think that's Mock to the right. And Ben bobbles the snap again, picks it up on a hop, and throws it, and it's deflected around and intercepted at the 10-yard line. And inside the 5, Guilfoyle has the ball back. Boy, oh boy, I'm not sure what's going on. And then Ben, I don't know if he panicked or what, Ward, but he just unloaded that ball unless they were trying to set something up. It was hard to tell if that was supposed to be a middle screen, to be honest with you.
I don't know. Honestly, it just blew up again. Ben mishandled the snap again. It's up around his head, but that shouldn't be a problem for him. I'm not sure what's going on, Mark, but that's a backbreaker.
Jerry Rosseye said he was trying to throw it away. The ball, by the way, is at the Homer-Center 2-yard line. Wow. We do have a winner in the contest, so please stop calling. And the give up the middle, and for the third time in this game, they have a 2-yard touchdown run. It is Myrick and Guilfoyle blowing things open here with 8:08 left in the first half. 27-7, and Homer-Center shooting themselves in the foot.
They're just not playing crisp, and you can't do that against a good team. You can get away with that maybe against a lesser team, but not here. And I know Ben feels badly about that. I do have no answer for why these snaps are a problem all of a sudden. We haven't seen it like this all year.
No, we haven't. Although we have seen more of it the past few weeks. Attempting the extra point is Wyant. Chadbourne the holder, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. So the Wildcats, they trailed in 2017, but this is a much deeper hole. It's 28-7 Guilfoyle, 8:08 to play. The Wildcats have showed maybe they can move the ball a little bit, but they have to hang on to it first. Indiana Regional Medical Center playoff sports night coverage continues. 28-7 Guilfoyle on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
I'm Pastor Katrina Lottie from Homer City United Methodist Church. We are honored to be able to support the Homer-Center Wildcats. This has been a difficult year. We want to let you know that you are not alone. You are seen, you are heard, and you are loved. We are open for in-person worship on Sundays at 9:30 a.m. with the wearing of masks and social distancing. Our sermons are also available on our Homer City United Methodist Church YouTube channel. Come and be encouraged.
For more than 100 years, the Indiana Regional Medical Center has been your #1 health option, always striving to bring you the latest, most innovative medical care, like urgent care, now available in Indiana at MedExpress at 2128 Oakland Avenue. IRMC and MedExpress have formed an exciting new partnership for urgent care services. So when you have a cold or the flu, you've injured yourself and need diagnostic services for a sprain or fracture, your lab work, or have some non-emergency health issue, visit MedExpress, 2128 Oakland Avenue in Indiana.
As we come back, Ben Schmidt takes the kickoff at the 5, left sideline return toward the Guilfoyle bench up to about the 30-yard line where A.J. Kilmartin stopped him. Congratulations to our Bruno's Lasagna dinner winner, Tracy Marcus of Homer City. Michael Burdig reporting we're getting tons and tons of calls, so please stop calling. We congratulate Tracy Marcus. And we also follow that up. Brian Troop, our first quarter winner. We'll have winners in the second half as well. Wildcats Ward are going to take over at.
Well, they need to get a sustained drive put together here and really settle down. I think they're trying to rush themselves too much, especially Ben. He's not typical of him to be having trouble with these snaps.
From their own 29-yard line, they come out with running back to the left and right of Ben Schmidt. Different look here, receivers left and right, and a flag, and we have delay of game. What on earth is going on? Or did Homer-Center call a timeout first? I don't think so. Wow.
That has to be on the sideline there. Yeah.
Or they got the play in late. Yeah, one or the other.
Yeah, but I mean, he went in, they lined up, and they seemed to be waiting for something. I'm not sure what it was, but it happened.
Yeah.
And they lost 5 yards, and they can ill afford to lose anything right now.
We haven't seen many negative plays or many penalties from this Homer-Center team, to be frank about it. They've been very, very disciplined. But tonight, for whatever reason, the wheels are kind of off the wagon. And the pass out and positive yardage for Kaufman, who fights for extra yardage. It's going to be close to a 10-yard gain.
Yep, nice play. It's simple out.
That's the kind of stuff that's, safe and generally there. Guilfoyle does have a lot of speed defensively. It's going to be a gain of 11. So to the 35-yard line, Connor Kiesewetter made that tackle. He has a couple of interceptions this season. Or actually, no, that's his younger brother, Carson.
The strength of Homer's wideouts is that they can catch the ball, but they also could get yards after the catch.
2nd down and 4. Schmidt takes the snap. Again, it's a little bit high. Hands it off and running and powering his way for a first down. Let's see if that's Colin Troop with that ball. It is, and tackled on the play by A.J. Kilmartin again. But the Wildcats overcome the delay of game, and they pick up.
Well, they've got the offense
yardage
to move the ball. The thing is, they're shooting themselves in the foot, and they're not getting. That's what's costing them.
7:11 to play here in the first half. It's 28-7 Guilfoyle. They just capitalized on a Wildcat turnover. 1st and 10, Homer-Center at their own 40. Shady McCoy, little shuffle step motion, and Schmidt, the handoff, and they line him up, and McCloskey shot the gap, the inside linebacker, along with Adrian Johnson, one of their better linemen. As I mentioned, they start 10 seniors on defense. Loss of a yard, it'll be back to the 39-yard line, and Ben's finding out what Josh Seister found out last week, that it's tough sledding, although we were hoping that Homer-Center's passing game maybe you would loosen things up, and it still may.
These are design runs. They're just not being blocked very well. That pursuit came in behind Ben and just dragged him down.
2nd down and 11. Ben rolls to his left, gets through an opening, and from one side of the 40 to the other, and that's that speed of the BG defense on display. And it was McCloskey again, I think. His jersey's a little bunched up, but I'm almost sure it's 42 that made that tackle. Yes, Zach McCloskey, Chris Graham confirming. So it'll be 3rd down and 10. We're under 6 minutes to play here in the first half, 28-7 Guilfoyle.
Yeah, they're closing in real quick. Ben doesn't have a chance to make a move. He get into that second level, and that's something he is so good at it.
Drew Kaufman, receiver to the short side in front of the Marauders bench. Krajosic, they'd like to get him into the game, and Mock to the right, and Ben rolls to his right. Janicek comes off the edge. Ben gets by him, looking, throwing, and it is deflected off of two Wildcat hands, and some confusion between McCoy and Mock, and they both almost had it, and then defensively it almost went into the hands of Drew Abraham. So the Wildcats, unfortunately, are going to have to punt it away here.
Yeah, McCoy was short, and he went up for it and tipped it, and Mock was kind of demonstrative after that. Because he was in line to catch that ball.
So, remember the pressure they brought on one punt, so you have to be careful here. They have a gunner to the right, that is Rolland, and they double-team him. And the kick is away, end over end, and it's taken. And Myrick with it, gets by one black jersey, and that was Hauser, but he is dropped. And we should have a media timeout with 5:19 to play. Mason Bell finished him off. Media timeout on the field with 5:19 remaining in the first half. It's 28-7, Bishop Guilfoyle on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
10-yard return.
Modeling, save yourself some steps and march to PenningtonSpecialty.com. Randy George at Pennington Specialty takes pride in every job, and you'll see that when you march into PenningtonSpecialty.com. Contact Randy George at Pennington Specialty for a free quote. If you're talking construction of any kind, you should be talking to Randy George at Pennington Specialty. One visit to PenningtonSpecialty.com, and you'll see why people have been marching to Pennington Specialty for years. Randy George is also a grad of Homer-Center and is Wildcat proud.
To the secondary, and he gets tripped by Mock as he gets in Homer-Center territory. The line of scrimmage, the 40, he got to the Wildcat 48 for 12 yards.
Yeah, just sucked in on that play fake to get nobody home on the end. So that was fairly easy running there. The Homer D needs a stop. That's pretty much all I've been talking about tonight, but they really need to get a stop, try to get some momentum back, put together something offensively.
Hayden Garner at the quarterback spot, and Guilfoyle needs a timeout. So there's our de facto media timeout. 4:56 to play in the first half. It's Bishop Guilfoyle with a big lead, 28-7 over the Homer-Center Wildcats on an RMC playoff sports night on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
No matter who you are or where you are, CNB Bank makes it easy to take care of life's necessities, like paying Uncle Rick back for lunch, or depositing that paycheck for dog sitting. And even if you prefer to bank the more traditional way, we still rock that too.
Welcome to CNB Bank.
Experience better banking at CNB Bank.
Make this up. Recently, my wife was in an accident in a drive-thru purchasing coffee. A truck rammed her from behind. Fortunately, she's okay, but our SUV wasn't. This is the voice of the Wildcats, Mark Burdick. And through the years, we have had our fair share of fender benders in our home, and every time we have called on Arone Auto Body for our collision repair. I've known Frank and the team at Arone's for a long time, and they deliver the kind of service I feel confident recommending. When you need collision repair, you need Arone Auto Body in Homer City. Take it from me, they do it right, and I have first-hand experience many times over.
Christy Sweet was diagnosed with breast cancer at just 32 years old. Fortunately, IRMC Cancer Center, in partnership with UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, is just 20 minutes from her home. Today, after a chemotherapy, a double mastectomy, and radiation therapy, Christy is cancer-free. Learn more about Christy's story and the world-renowned cancer care right here in Indiana at upmchillman.com/IRMC.
Sundays, it's Taste of Italy, dinner for two, noon to 6 p.m., only $25. You get it all on Taste of Italy Day on Sundays. Call ahead or drive through Bruno's Italian Restaurant on Philadelphia Street in downtown Indiana.
You're killing me with that.
Yeah, it's good too, isn't it? First and 10 from the Wildcat 48-yard line. Motion man is Myrick. They fake it to him, and they're going to throw downfield. It's a floater, and it's almost intercepted by Mock, who turned around. Fortunately, just in the nick of time, because if he doesn't, we may have been looking at pass interference.
Yeah, that ball, the receiver was breaking open. Mock managed to make up some ground, and the fact that it wobbled out there allowed him to break it up.
Kiesewetter, by the way, 53 of 85, 3 interceptions, 10 touchdowns, 663 yards. Not staggering numbers, but they do rotate about 22 guys taking snaps.
This isn't Guilfoyle's strength either, this passing the game, but they're getting so open that, it's pretty simple.
Again, Myrick in motion, but they give it up the middle. And with the football, I think that's the fullback McCloskey who gets to the 46-yard line, where Brock Hauser, who's had an active first half, made that tackle along with Michael Krajosic. So the Wildcats defense a chance again. They had a chance on the first possession, Ward, and that was really a tone setter for me on third down and 7. They hit that 50-yard pass to set up the first touchdown. Here we have a 3rd down and 8 from the Wildcat 46-yard line. 4:20 clock moving here in the first half. Guilfoyle leading 28-7. Wildcats desperately need a stop.
The line needs to get some penetration here.
Janaszek, they move him off of the line as a receiver to the right, and Kiesiwetter rolls to his right. He throws downfield, and that's going to be interference on Homer on Drew Kaufman, and it was Janaszek, the intended receiver. That time Drew Kaufman did not turn around, and an easy call will extend this drive for Bishop Guilfoyle.
I think that was Hauser maybe. Was that 40 that went back there?
No, it was Drew Kaufman.
Irrelevant.
4:06 left, clock stopped, and they'll move the football from the 46 down to the 31-yard line. So mistakes continue to mount for Homer-Center.
That's a rollout right, and it just gave Myrick all the time to look down, and finally receiver breaks open. He just puts it out there. Homer's D tried to close ground, which they did, but unfortunately did not look back for the ball. That is an easy call for the official. 4:06 to go here, Mark, and Homer's kind of hoping that clock would speed up a little bit.
Yeah, it's turning into that type of night. We will have Bruno's giveaways if this thing really gets away from Homer-Center in the second half. Where I'd like to tell the video stream viewers, because of the delay, you might as well save your time in calling, because there's probably, depending on the device, as much as 30 seconds behind the live radio feed. 1st and 10, and they don't give it to Myrick. And let's see if that's Kiesiwetter or Hayden Garner. Hayden Garner took the snap. Boy, they keep you on your toes with 3, 2, and 8 taking snaps. Riley Clevenger, I have to give Riley credit. Every time I see Riley throughout this season, he is one of the most polite young men. He says, "Hi, Mr. Burdick, how are you?" And kind of makes me feel old when he does that, but all the time. So, Riley, thank you. Yeah, I know I am. Chris Graham just spotted that in the booth, too.
But I think as a whole, this team is that way.
2nd down, pitch right, and with the football, it is Myrick, and cutting it back, and he gets inside the 25 to the 24. He's going to be about 3 yards shy of the first down. Drew Kaufman, along with Shane Shady McCoy, who's had a good senior season. So that was that wide toss.
Yeah, big
it almost
toss.
looked like the ball had a string on it.
And Homer did a nice job there. I didn't get the player that came up. It might have been Clevenger who came in there and forced that play wider.
3rd down.
Kaufman made the play, though.
And 3 to go. Ball on the left hash. They operate right to left as we look out of our S&T Bank broadcast booth. Taking the direct snap, Keegan Myrick backing his way inside the 22. I think he's going to be a yard shy of the first down. It'll be 4th down and 1, depending on the spot. Maybe I'm being premature. Caden Brown on the tackle for the Homer-Center Wildcats. No, I'm not. It is going to be a clear 4th and 1, and if Homer-Center ever needed a stop, they need it now. Nick Manzanilla also instrumental in stopping him shy of that lead chain.
Yeah, this is going to take 11 guys. Everybody's got to do their job here.
From the Wildcat 22, with Guilfoyle leading 28-7, down to 10 on the play clock. They might run this down. We're down to 2:10 to play in the half. They're going to take a timeout. We'll take one with them. Indiana Regional Medical Center playoff sports night coverage continues. Big 4th down and 1 for Homer-Center's defense. They already trail 28-7 on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
Hi, Wildcat fans. This is Coach Greg Page. I would like to thank Wildcat Nation for your support, and I especially want to thank the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club for making tonight's video presentation possible. The Bears Midget program has provided a foundation for Wildcat football for decades. Through the growth of the boosters, they now impact many of our sports here at Homer-Center. From our team, we say thank you, Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club, for making a big difference in our community since 1958.
Out of the Bishop Guilfoyle timeout, they're going to be faced with a 4th down and 1 from the 22-yard line. Boy, the Wildcats need a stop here. Keegan Myrick going to take the direct snap, and he takes it off the right side and has a 1st down. He didn't get much, but he didn't need much. Tripping him up was Travis Mock as he got to the 19-yard line. 21 was the lead chain, so he got the yard plus 2. And they're right back in the red zone, aren't they, Ward? Under 2 minutes to play here in the first half.
Kind of an old single wing type play there. 2 blockers to lead him into the hole. He just slid off to the right side to get the 1st down.
Connor Kiesewetter back in at the quarterback spot. And Kiesewetter's going to throws an out pattern, and reacting nicely was Michael Krajosik. Limits him to a 4-yard gain to the 15. Michael needed one more step, and that might be going the other direction, to be honest with you. But it ends up being a 4-yard gain at 2nd down and 90 seconds left, clock ticking.
That's the kind of play the Wildcats would need, something like that, to turn a momentum, get them into the locker room on an up instead of
under center is Kiesewetter, toss right to Myrick. It's a little bit low. Myrick, as he tends to do, makes that quick cut. He sees the field so well, and he gets inside the 10. I think he has another 1st down to the 8-yard line. Caden Brown one more time on the tackle for Homer-Center, along with Mason Bell. Remember, Justin Walbeck hurt early in this game. Is Justin on the sideline?
He's right below
he's
us
actually on crutches.
Yeah.
1st down and goal from the 8-yard line. McCloskey to the left of the quarterback, and Kiesewetter looking to throw. Throws in the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown. Stepping up in making that catch, it was Hayden Garner, the Southern Huntington transfer, with 49 seconds left in the first half. 34-7 Guilfoyle. We did not expect this, but it is what we're seeing out of our S&T Bank broadcast window.
Yeah, it's disappointing that the Wildcats just came out shaky. I would not have expected their offense to be that uncomfortable out here, but that's what it appears they are doing, and they just haven't been able to put anything together.
Devin Wyant, the extra point, snap low, but put down nicely by Chadbourne, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. So the Wildcats in a major hole with only 49 seconds left in the first half on an Indiana Regional Medical Center playoff sports night. It's 35-7 Guilfoyle on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
This is the Tire Man, James Cypress from Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center at Luther Ford, with bad news and some good news. The bad news is winter is coming. The good news, if you need tires, we can help. Buy 3 tires and you'll get the 4th one free. Plus, we offer at least 8 of the most popular tire brands in the country. The Tire Man will also throw in free lifetime tire rotation and a free alignment check. We will match or beat any competitor's price. But hurry, offer ends November 30th at Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center at Luther Ford, Route 119, Homer City.
The engineering firm of Young & Associates is proud to sponsor high school athletics. With offices in Indiana, Katanning, and Johnstown, Young & Associates is a full-service engineering, surveying, and design firm for private, public, and municipal entities, covering Western Pennsylvania, delivering solutions in a timely and cost-competitive manner. To see how they can be of service to you, go online to wjyaengineers.com.
Well, 35-7 as Wyant approaches the ball. His leg's getting tired. Little pooch kick. You're going to have to field that. They call a fair catch on the far side. Good call over there by Riley Clevenger. And they bump into Riley, but no harm, no foul. And that's something we saw last week, those little pooch kicks at times from BG. So it'll be Homer-Center ball at the 30. 2 winning teams that have been around Homer City for a long time, the Wildcats and Mistretta Distributing in Homer City. Dick, can you stay open late for me and Ward? Mistretta has all of your favorite beverages, and they're open 7 days a week, 8 to 7, Monday through Saturday, noon to 4 on Sundays. Mistretta Distributing, Route 119 in Homer City. Dick, Mistretta, youth sports for so long. His dad, Charlie, famous. God, we miss Charlie, and I know he's still smiling down on the Wildcats. What a guy he was, and Dick is too, and we say hello to Dick and Linda. Give off the right side and making a nice little move, running with that football is Colin Troop. 1st down yardage over the 40 up to the 42, where he's dragged down by Cooper Rother of the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders. And let's see if the Wildcats try to make something happen here. Why not? They do restart the clock Homer-Center has all 3 timeouts at their disposal, and they're in no apparent rush. Down to 28 seconds to play, and Homer-Center taking a long time.
Don't understand that.
And the pass is out in the flat to Shady McCoy. Shady to midfield, cradling that football as Hayden Garner tries ripping it out of there. Another first down for Homer-Center. Connor Kiesewetter making the tackle, and the Wildcats do call a timeout, but they wasted a lot of time. Only 14 seconds left in the half. Indiana Regional Medical Center playoff sports night coverage continues with the score 35-7 Guilfoyle on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
Maybe you've heard of the Colonial Experience, but did you know that that begins before you even walk in the door? At shopcolonialcars.com, we bring you a convenient way to begin your car shopping experience. Browse our selection of vehicles, and then come on in for the rest of the Colonial Experience. That's a lifetime warranty, lifetime state inspections, and more on your new vehicle, and a promise to keep working for you, even after you drive off the lot. Because giving you unparalleled service is what we do. shopcolonialcars.com.
Seeing our kids suit up for football, cheerleading, or band are once-in-a-lifetime moments our parents just don't want to miss.
Current conditions have changed the way we enjoy athletic events. We appreciate every opportunity to watch our kids perform, even if that looks a little different this year.
As a community bank, we're happy to partner with Renda Broadcasting's coverage of Heritage Conference football games. We are proud parents and supporters of our local schools.
Congratulations and good luck to all students, staff, and everyone involved.
Keep them in mind when you need them. We hope you don't, but IRMC at Chestnut Ridge, Old Route 22 in Blairsville. Get in, get out, get better. There's some talking to Altoona Mirror reporter Ward. He's worried that this could be the final weekend of high school football.
Yeah, anything's possible with this thing going on. 1st
and 10, Wildcats with Schmidt stepping up, rolling to his left, looking and just kills the ball. The pass intended for Drew Kaufman, who was definitely in the area. We're down to 8 seconds to go. Boy, I'm sure the coaching staff would like to have that sequence back when they let seemingly 20 or 30 seconds off the clock.
A couple plays that they could have been running.
With 3 timeouts.
Now, they still have center field open here, but they're going to have to call a timeout as soon as they get down. So they could get 2 plays out of this, but that I think they wanted to try to spring bend, but I got to believe that there's a spy on the side of Guilfoyle that's just hanging with him. McCloskey was very close to him that time, and I don't know where he came from. But
he has a protector to his left, and they fake the toss, and Ben wants to keep it. That's not going to work, and I think it's the no, it's not the young man you were talking about, McCloskey. It is Dylan McNally that made that tackle for the Guilfoyle Marauders. 44, and McCloskey may have come over to help him, but the first half has come to an end, and not a good first half, really, all the way around, including the 2 timeouts that they're taking to the locker room with them at halftime that don't carry over to the second half. It was that kind of half for Homer-Center. All Bishop Guilfoyle 35-7 over the Homer-Center Wildcats. Stay with us for our halftime show coming up next on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
Christy Sweet was diagnosed with breast cancer at just 32 years old. Fortunately, IRMC Cancer Center, in partnership with UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, is just 20 minutes from her home. Today, after chemotherapy, a double mastectomy, and radiation therapy, Christy is cancer-free. Learn more about Christy's story and the world-renowned cancer care right here in Indiana at upmchillman.com/IRMC.
coming is your car ready? The incredible tire sale is on at Freedom Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Northern Cambria. Buy 3 tires, get the 4th for $1. Buy 3 tires, get the 4th for $1. Stop in or call Freedom about the most trusted tire brands available. They're all buy 3, get the 4th for $1. Ask about additional super service specials too. Nobody does tires and service like Freedom Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Northern Cambria. For more information, call their lucky number at 814-948-7777.
Really love the holidays at Graham Graham's, but it's tough to
Relax.
The dish guy heard us. Said with the Dish Anywhere app, we could bring the comfort of our home TV along with us. Live TV, on demand, even our DVR shows.
Feel good shows.
That put us right at ease. Mostly.
So many eyes.
Take live TV, on demand, and your home DVR anywhere. Dish, tuned into you.
No matter who you are or where you are, CNB Bank makes it easy to take care of life's necessities, like paying Uncle Rick back for lunch, or depositing that paycheck for dog sitting. And even if you prefer to bank the more traditional way, we still rock that too.
Welcome to CNB Bank.
Experience better banking at CNB Bank.
For more than 100 years, the Indiana Regional Medical Center has been your #1 health option, always striving to bring you the latest, most innovative medical care, like urgent care, now available in Indiana at MedExpress at 2128 Oakland Avenue. IRMC and MedExpress have formed an exciting new partnership for urgent care services. So when you have a cold or the flu, you've injured yourself and need diagnostic services for a sprain or fracture, your lab work, or have some non-emergency health issue, visit MedExpress, 2128 Oakland Avenue in Indiana.
Wildcat fans, this is Coach Greg Page. I would like to thank Wildcat Nation for your support, and I especially want to thank the Homer-City Area Athletic Booster Club for making tonight's video presentation possible. The Bears Midget program has provided a foundation for Wildcat football for decades. Through the growth of the boosters, they now impact many of our sports here at Homer-Center. From our team, we say thank you, Homer-City Area Athletic Booster Club, for making a big difference in our community since 1958.
Is, but the result was they were giving up terrific field position, and they were having major breakdowns in their secondary, allowing Guilfoyle to just open up a lead. And once this team gets a lead, they're hard to catch.
Yeah, very good defensively. The Wildcats averaged 45.3. You knew coming in you're not putting 45 on the board tonight. Sadly, that's what you're going to need.
The band would like to thank the Homer-Center Band District for all of their hard work for our students. We would also like to thank the parents, community, school board, and administration for your continued support. Let's go Tigers.
something else. Yeah. All right, you're all set. Thanks, Jim. Thanks. All right. Oops. Yeah. Oops. We're all good now. All right. Well, I was trying to go back to there and it fell. I caught it. Turn it and jingle. Well, put more hands in there. I don't know It's like 10 goal of the century. Oh, I see.
Of Marcus & Mack is right here. Unique technological capabilities allow your claim to be processed by phone, text, or email without you ever having to leave your home. Contact the law office of Marcus & Mack. Get all the compensation you deserve.
Pediatric Care Center of Indiana and Marion Center are proud to support our student athletes in tonight's game. Each athlete has represented their school district and their community to the best of their ability in these challenging times. Doctors Rizwan and Amina Jabber, physicians assistant Nikki Phillips, and the entire staff at both locations would like to wish all of the athletes best of luck tonight and in the future. The Pediatric Care Center, 2 locations, 119 Professional Center in Indiana and the Mahoning Medical Center, Highway 403 in Marion Center.
Seeing our kids suit up for football, cheerleading, or band are once-in-a-lifetime moments our parents just don't want to miss.
Current conditions have changed the way we enjoy athletic events. We appreciate every opportunity to watch our kids perform, even if that looks a little different this year.
As a community bank, we're happy to partner with Renda Broadcasting's coverage of Heritage Conference football games. We are proud parents and supporters of our local schools.
Congratulations and good luck to all students, staff, and everyone involved.
Introducing... Oh, there you are. Introducing the card that gives you a better way to pay. You've swiped, you've chipped, but now you can simply tap and go. The first Commonwealth Bank MasterCard contactless card makes checkout simple at millions of locations. Fast, secure, convenient. Tap your first Commonwealth Bank MasterCard contactless card at your favorite checkouts today.
And he motors for 12 yards to the Wildcat 48, where Drew Kaufman picked him up. Guilfoyle looking for their 7th District 6 championship. They have 2 in Class 2A in 1985 and 1987. You know who they beat in 1987, Ward Hilliard? You should know this. I don't know how many tests you can fail in one season.
I'm going to fail that one because I'm trying to concentrate on what's going on down here on the field.
Oh,
history lessons.
That's your excuse, huh?
That's my excuse.
United is who they beat. Kesey-Wetter throws out in the flat. Myrick takes it, slips one tackle, and he's dragged down at the 45. Good job recovering by Mason Bell across the way for Homer-Center. So it'll be 2nd down and 3. Yeah, they beat United in 1987, and then 4 Class 1A championships, 2014, 15, 16 over Homer-Center, and then last year as well. They lost in the state championship game 10-7 to Farrell in overtime.
You know, the curious thing is the first 2 titles they won were 2As.
Yep, that's what I said.
So,
yep, 85 and 87.
Now, suddenly they're down here.
2nd down and 7 again. Motion, Myrick, they fake it to him, and up the middle with the football. It is Hayden Garner who they lined up, and he has a 1st down. They just throw so much stuff at you offensively. Travis Mock, as you said in the first half, not really a good passing team. Adequate.
Yeah,
they keep you on your toes because they mix and match their personnel.
You so concentrate on the run that you have breakdowns in your secondary, and those guys are wide open. Those aren't difficult passes to complete.
Don't forget, this quarter we'll be giving away a Bruno Stromboli with a couple of toppings, too. Inside handoff on a Connor McCloskey. Wildcats read it, but they tackle poorly, and McCloskey runs for close to 10 yards down to about the 23-yard line. Well, they stayed home, did a pretty good job, except for one thing. They didn't wrap up, and finally stopping him was the sophomore, Mason Bell, who's going to be a good football player.
Oh, they did a terrific job there. Right there in the backfield, had him nailed for at least no gain, but he broke 1, 2, 3, and almost got a first down.
So is Caden Brown and Drew Kaufman instead? Okay. Oh, Mason? Okay. Oh, okay. Second down and a yard. They have a pistol back behind the quarterback, Guilfoyle, with a sidecar to the left, and the give to McCloskey. And, wow, look at him power his way inside the 15-yard line. Boy, oh, boy, Homer-Center is going to have to play with a little more urgency defensively.
Yeah.
Travis Mock, and we have an injury to boot. So we're going to take a timeout. A Wildcat is down on his back. Might be Shady McCoy, but we'll check it. 9:28 to play in the third quarter. It's McCloskey running downhill. Things going downhill for Homer-Center. 35-7 on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
Really love the holidays at Graham Graham's, but it's tough to
Relax.
The Dish guy heard us. Said with the Dish Anywhere app, we could bring the comfort of our home TV along with us. Live TV, on demand, even our DVR shows.
Feel good shows.
That put us right at ease. Mostly.
So many eyes.
Take live TV, on demand, and your home DVR anywhere. Dish, tuned into you.
No matter who you are or where you are, CNB Bank makes it easy to take care of life's necessities, like paying Uncle Rick back for lunch, or depositing that paycheck for dog sitting. And even if you prefer to bank the more traditional way, we still rock that too.
Welcome to CNB Bank.
Experience better banking at CNB Bank.
I'm Dave Jr. of Bork Farms in Homer City. We're celebrating our first anniversary of offering a great selection of our own farm-grown freezer beef cuts. And we couldn't have done it without your support. Don't worry where your beef comes from, because at Bork Farms, it's beef from the beginning. Stop by our beautiful store at Bork Farms on Neal Road in Homer City. We've added some great new items. You can also visit our Facebook page or call us at Bork Farms, 724-479-0656.
Had a good season. First and 10, Guilfoyle at the Wildcat 14. Guilfoyle hands it off to McCloskey, and McCloskey has stood up. Let's see who has him. Ben Schmidt has him lined up and limits him to nothing, maybe even a loss of a yard. Good job by Ben.
Yeah, McCloskey's like a fire plug kind of a back here. Big, strong kid, but runs north and south. And if you meet him like that, you can hope bring him down if you can just get his legs stop running like you do.
Well, we're going to go back in history.
United, by the way, was the team you were talking about.
Now that I mentioned it 3 times, nothing gets by you, Ward.
No, sir. I had that in my memory banks. Just took a while for me to make a withdrawal.
Second down and 11. And it's Guilfoyle or Garner. Garner at the quarterback spot gives it to Myrick. Myrick, quick move. Boy, he has outstanding footwork. Keegan Myrick. Wonder if he's getting any college looks. He's a good football player, not particularly large.
Nah,
Drew Kaufman.
He's Division III at best. And the thing of it is, Mark, there's no end there. And they're blowing the end up, so he makes that cut. It's a huge gap there. He's just not that big, and he's got decent quickness. But
third down and about 2 from the Wildcat 6. One thing, Homer-Center, without Ben Schmidt next year, they're not going to be able to play shootout football. They're going to have to really work in the offseason to shore up the defense and get back to Homer-Center defense. And there's a flag that's going to fly. We're going to give you our Bruno's trivia question right now, 724-479-1160. The winner will win a Stromboli with 2 toppings. I'm going to go back in time here. Ben Schmidt, of course, owns about every passing record imaginable. Oh, I can't do it.
We can't do it.
Our studio engineer doesn't know the answer. I can't give the question. BG's first penalty of the game. Quick stats all night long, brought to you by First Commonwealth Bank.
Steve Wasick.
Might have, yeah. Well, we can't give that question now, can we? Third down and 7 to go. Guilfoyle hands it off on a jet sweep. And it is Myrick, and good defense again by Drew Kaufman of Homer-Center. Drops him at the 6-yard line. So it will be 4th and short for the Marauders. You know, Ward, since 1998, at least one private school has appeared in 19 of 23 Class A championship games, and they have come away with 13 titles. You know who has the most?
I'm gonna say Bishop Carroll.
I think that's the first question you got right for me all season long.
Probably is. I mean,
you're right.
Dig up these impossible statistics.
They have 7 of the 13. Guilfoyle 4, looking and on their way to 5, and Bishop McCord has 2. And we have a timeout on the field called by Bishop Guilfoyle. 6:43 to play in the third quarter. It's been a Marauder kind of night. 35-7 on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
Can't make this up. Recently, my wife was in an accident in a drive-thru purchasing coffee. A truck rammed her from behind. Fortunately, she's okay, but our SUV wasn't. This is the voice of the Wildcats, Mark Burdick. And through the years, we have had our fair share of fender benders in our home, and every time we have called on Arone Auto Body for our collision repair. I've known Frank and the team at Arone's for a long time, and they deliver the kind of service I feel confident recommending. When you need collision repair, you need Arone Auto Body in Homer City. Take it from me, they do it right, and I have firsthand experience many times over.
Wildcat fans, this is Coach Greg Page. I would like to thank Wildcat Nation for your support, and I especially want to thank the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club for making tonight's video presentation possible. The Bears Midget program has provided a foundation for Wildcat football for decades. Through the growth of the boosters, they now impact many of our sports here at Homer Center. From our team, we say thank you, Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club, for making a big difference in our community since 1958.
The answer was going to be who did Ben Schmidt break the all-time passing yardage from a year or so ago. It was Steve Wasik. The new question is, we're going to come back to current. Drew Kaufman has had a sensational season. He now trails only one player all-time on the Homer Center passing receiving yardage list. Who is that player that owns the record for most receiving yardage? 724-479-1160. 4th and 2. And Keegan Myrick, little jump pass over the middle, wide open. A play from Ernie Widmar's old playbook at Blairsville, and hauling it in was Andrew Janishak. And it is 41-7. We're an extra point away from the mercy rule.
But it was well done. Well done. Homer bit. Everybody crashed inside. Janishak just slipped into the middle of the end zone, wide open. Easy play. Touchdown.
Wyant to attempt the extra point. Snap put down. Dylan McNelly, the long snapper, he's done a good job, and the holder, Chadbourne, Adam Chadbourne, and the kicker has a strong leg, Devin Wyant, and we are going to be in the mercy rule, fans. It's 42-7, Bishop Guilfoyle on Indiana Regional Medical Center Playoff Sports Night on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
Love the holidays at Graham Graham's, but it's tough to
relax.
The Dish guy heard us. Said with the Dish Anywhere app, we could bring the comfort of our home TV along with us. Live TV, on demand, even our DVR shows.
Feel good shows.
That put us right at ease. Mostly.
So many eyes.
Take live TV, on demand, and your home DVR anywhere. Dish, tuned into you.
But they have not played well. Guilfoyle has, and it's 42-7, and we're going to have a running clock the rest of the way. Ben Schmidt, Drew Kaufman back deep, and we'll see if Michael Burdick has had some calls in our latest Bruno's contest. Again, we're looking for the Wildcats' all-time receiving leader as far in terms of yardage, and Devin Wyant's kick into the end zone. Boy, they have had some good kickers. Connor McGee is a redshirt freshman at West Virginia University, also a punter. He has punted this year for the Mountaineers, and we do have a winner, Michael Burdick tells me, so no more calls. We will have one more contest The winner is Ward Hilliard. Oh, no, you're not eligible. So we will have the winner. We'll have a fourth quarter contest as well where you can win a large 2-topping pizza and an order of 6 wings. Boy, that sounds yummy, doesn't it? Guilfoyle, Ward, they've had some, longer drives in terms of, 9 plays, 10 plays, but
Homer hasn't stopped them at all, though. They're just the distance is just a moot point, really.
Ben, snap a little bit to his right. He keeps it, and he lugs it up to about the 25-yard line for 5 yards. Defensively,
Homer's just unable to sustain any kind of offensive flow, and you need a good drive. You get your confidence up. They needed that early. Right after they scored, they needed a stop. They didn't get it, and they didn't have a good response after that with the turnover, and that pretty much finished the game.
Shady McCoy is back into the lineup. That's good news. You called it, and there he is. Adrian Johnson, Zach McCloskey on that tackle for the Marauders. Schmidt takes the snap from Hurd, throws out in the flat, dropped by Shady McCoy, tried running with it before he had it, so now it'll be 3rd down and 6 for Homer-Center. They have just been out of sync, out of sorts from really the opening drive.
I do know the one loss they had with Guilfoyle was pretty lopsided. I don't know what the score was in the other one. I can't recall it.
Well, there have been a couple of lopsided affairs.
When Guilfoyle's won, they have won. I mean, it was not by a point or two. They pretty much put it to us.
3rd down and 7 to go here, and Schmidt, pump fake, now steps up and makes a little move, powers his way to the 31-yard line and has a 1st down. Good job by Ben. Stepped up, read it, and took off. I can give you those scores. On the tackle was Adrian Johnson and Drew Abraham. 2013, Homer-Center won 22-12 in the bizarre snowstorm that hit right before kickoff. 2016 championship game, 52-6 Guilfoyle. 2017, one of the greatest upsets in Piattaboy history, ending a 59-game winning streak. Homer-Center 20-14. Followed that up 20-14 over Steelton Highspire before losing to Jeanette in the state championship game. Colin Troop up the middle and big yardage over the 40, maybe another 1st down. Hayden Garner along with Drew Abraham once again on the tackle. And then 2018, I think is maybe what you were thinking about. It was a quarterfinal matchup, 42-0. Guilfoyle won it, so very similar game.
But, Homer's got some real promise here with the Colin Troop and Cole McAnally as runners. They're going to have some good running backs coming back next year.
Schmidt takes the direct snap from Hurd. Pump fake, they have everything covered. He eludes pressure, now throws downfield. Good, strong throw to Drew Kaufman into Guilfoyle territory to the 44-yard line. Excellent job by Ben. You see the offense kind of settling in finally to what we have seen, for much of this season. Good patience by Ben, and Kaufman broke free. Drew, outstanding season. About 30 catches now for Drew Kaufman this season, and approaching 60 over the last couple of years.
That's a good play on both ends. Drew did a nice job of getting separation and coming back to the ball to make that catch.
1st and 10 at the Marauder 44, and Schmidt going to take the snap, and they have him smothered, and they tackle him for a loss. Did the ball come loose? There's a flag, too, on the turf here. Cameron Maloney on the tackle. It was actually Homer-Center's turn to win, if you will, Ward, because 2013 they won, 16 they lost, 17 they won, 18 they lost, but it is going to be a 2-game winning streak for the Marauders, and we'll sort things out down on the field here.
You knew the defense was going to have to really respond, but we didn't expect the offense to struggle the way they did early on. There you could see they're still moving.
Struggling with kind of mistakes where they're hurting themselves.
Yeah, just silly little things, but that adds up.
See what the call is.
Boy,
from
these guys
the
are
referee.
so slow in giving this stuff.
Holding on Homer-Center. Ward, you mentioned Troop and McAnally, although I would suspect next year's starting quarterback will be Cole McAnally. I'd say he has some big shoes to fill, but he's a very capable ball player. If he works hard in the offseason, he's going to be a really good one.
Yes.
And don't forget, because we haven't seen him, out of sight but not out of mind, Justin Walbeck will be back as a running back next year. And Justin, unfortunately, was hurt. Was that against Salzburg game. Yeah, that's right, early in the game.
He's got a brace on now, so
he'll be back in the backfield next year, and an offensive line that most of them will be back. First and a whole bunch. Schmidt throws and deflected away. Kaufman, the intended receiver. On the coverage, it was Keegan Myrick.
I don't know. That looked like he had a hanger on there for a while, didn't he? That looked like interference, and this sideline here is pretty much expressing their opinion on that.
Back to the 42-yard line, by the way, after that penalty. It's second down and 24. They need to get to the 34-yard line of the Marauders, waiting for the play to come in from the sideline. Of course, 42-7, we are in the mercy rule running clock. But Krajosik, a receiver to the near side. And Ben takes the snap, flares it out to Troop. Troop coming near sideline and going to be forced out of bounds. And then some extracurricular and a flag both ways. That might go on Troop as they go back and forth. And there's some jawing Cooper Rother. And I think this penalty is going to be on the Wildcats. It was kind of a retaliatory type of deal.
I could see Coach Page is vehement. You know, they shoved him out, and then he pulled his jersey after he shoved him out, and then Mock gave him a shot back, and they blew the call on the other side of the field. I'm sorry, but that was interference clearly, and they didn't call it. These guys are terrible, though. They're so slow.
Yeah, they have a bigger problem with how slow they are than the calls. There was definitely a retaliation by Homer-Center, but it was initiated by Bishop Guilfoyle, and unfortunately, sometimes it's the guy that gets caught last that gets flagged, and that's what happened there with Homer-Center. 2:23 clock is stopped. Coach Page understandably demonstrative on the sideline. Fans, Coach Page might need this next announcement. Two winning teams that have been around Homer City for a long time as they back it up to the 34-yard line. They need to get to the Guilfoyle 34, so they need 32 yards. The Wildcats and Mistretta Distributing in Homer City, they have all of your favorite beverages. They're open 7 days a week, 8 to 7 Monday through Saturday, and noon to 4 on Sundays. Mistretta Distributing, Route 119 in Homer City. Our extra points tonight been brought to you by Crimson Wealth Management. Doug Steve for all of your financial needs in Indiana. Third down, you need the coach bus, and now we have a whistle and timeout. Let's see, the officials are conferring, and
this is becoming a joke now. You know, the thing is, Guilfoyle has a history of this. I've seen them in a state game get into basically a brawl because of their chirping at the other team. They're very good at doing that. We've watched them in basketball. You and I did some games there, Mark.
Well, if you remember back in 2013 when Homer-Center beat them, there was a lot of that going on late and some unsportsmanlike on the Marauders. Here's Ben trying to bounce it outside, but Janaszak has him for a loss inside the 30. They are so quick. Janaszak, the leading tackler defensively, and you're picking on the wrong side sometimes when you're going his way, and here comes the Wildcat punt team.
They're quick, but they're unblocked. That certainly helps quickness when you're not getting blocked.
Yeah, that is true. Down to 95 seconds left in the quarter, and Michael Krajosik out to punt for Homer-Center, and Keegan Myrick back to receive the punt for Guilfoyle. Krajosik stands at his own 17-yard line. Good snap from Shady McCoy. End over end kick should be returnable. Myrick takes it at the 38 to the 45, and he's going to be dragged down.
Sorry.
And a flag coming in, and now pushing and shoving a couple
Anthony
of players.
Rowland got mugged. I'm sorry, Mark. I hate to step on you there, but he was getting mugged. And
Guilty
it's
party.
starting again. You see what they do? They're notorious for this.
Kilmartin was the guilty party on Anthony Rowland. There's two flags on the field. We're going to step out while they sort out this mess. We'll all try to regain our composure with 1:15 left in the third quarter. 42-7 Guilfoyle on their way to their 7th District 6 championship on an Indiana Regional Medical Center playoff sports night on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
No matter who you are or where you are, CNB Bank makes it easy to take care of life's necessities, like paying Uncle Rick back for lunch, or depositing that paycheck for dog sitting. And even if you prefer to bank, the more traditional way. We still rock that too.
Welcome to CNB Bank.
Experience better banking at CNB Bank.
Modeling, save yourself some steps and march to PenningtonSpecialty.com. Randy George at Pennington Specialty takes pride in every job, and you'll see that when you march into PenningtonSpecialty.com. Contact Randy George at Pennington Specialty for a free quote. If you're talking construction of any kind, you should be talking to Randy George at Pennington Specialty. One visit to PenningtonSpecialty.com and you'll see why people have been marching to Pennington Specialty for years. Randy George is also a grad of Homer-Center and is Wildcat proud and wishes the team the best of luck on their march to a district championship.
Grown-ups, your car is now your office, stage, nursery. Sorry, Erie Insurance offers products that lots of other companies don't. That's a big deal, and it's a good deal too. And with Erie, you get your own independent agent, not a giant corporate call center or some online robot. You meet with a real person, like this.
Your local Erie agent is Hutton Blues Insurance, 724-397-ERIE, or visit huttonblues.com.
Erie Insurance.
Congratulations to Barbara Ruddick of Homer City. She was the third quarter winner in our Bruno's quarterly giveaway tonight. We thank Denny Della Penna. He's a Homer-Center guy, not far from Memorial Field, right? And the officials, they've only taken a day and a half to get this sorted out. They have a tough job on the retaliation penalty. Could have gone both ways, probably should have. But then you have this extracurricular, and it takes them forever to get it sorted out. I hate to get on them. Not to mention that we properly followed protocols submitted for media timeouts, which is a PIAA rule. Phil Riccio, not his problem, from Altoona School District, says it was taken care of. We got it in the first quarter, haven't gotten one since. So that is very upsetting because we're supposed to get them. So if you can't referee properly at this level, you shouldn't be doing games. It's as simple as that. And these guys, not so much with the calls, but some of the mechanics have been horrible, and the media timeout thing just irks me because we follow rules. They should follow rules. So there. Yeah, I told you not to cheapen it, and there I go.
Well, I apologize for losing my cool, but, you know, I get tired of watching that. This team is clearly a class act. They were favored to be in the state final preseason. Act that way.
So Homer-Center Ward has the ball back after all of that. It was a punt, right?
Yeah,
it happened,
they still have a fourth down, so
and
they
it's
can
fourth
run
down
a play.
after all that. They had 32 to go. They have a fourth down and 4 to go after that mess. I can't even explain why they have a 4th and 4, but they do. And Ben looks to pass. Pressure coming in. He's going to throw deep. He has Mock out there, and Mock hauls it in inside the 10. Spun down at the 5-yard line by Bishop Guilfoyle's Drew Abraham.
Little redemption for Travis because he was getting worked over down here. So he felt pretty good about that. Nice pass and catch. Something Homer's done all season long. Just unable to pull that off tonight very often.
I don't have any idea how after a punt, because you'd have thought, Ward, that would have been a dead ball foul.
Change of possession, because once you punt it.
I have no idea, but let's run with it. It benefits Homer-Center. They need all the help they can get right now. And they give on a jet sweep to Krajosik, who cuts it up, and Guilfoyle closes the gap. He gets to the 4-yard line for a gain of a yard on the tackle, Andrew Janaszek. Again, thought that was a flag in the middle of the field, but I think that's a marking.
There's a marker. You know, that illustrates my point, you know, that they had an end there to stuff that play up.
That's the end of the third quarter. Wildcats will be inside the 5 at about the 3-yard line when we begin the fourth quarter. Thank you to Luxembourg Jewelers. The referees certainly haven't been diamonds in the rough tonight. 42-7 Guilfoyle. We'll head to the fourth quarter. Thank you, Luxembourg Jewelers, Indiana's Jewelers, on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
Wildcat fans, this is Coach Greg Page. I would like to thank Wildcat Nation for your support, and I especially want to thank the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club for making tonight's video presentation possible. The Bears Midget program has provided a foundation for Wildcat football for decades. Through the growth of the boosters, they now impact many of our sports here at Homer-Center. From our team, we say thank you, Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club, for making a big difference in our community since 1958.
The engineering firm of Young & Associates is proud to sponsor high school athletics. With offices in Indiana, Kittanning, and Johnstown, Young & Associates is a full-service engineering, surveying, and design firm for private, public, and municipal entities, covering Western Pennsylvania, delivering solutions in a timely and cost-competitive manner. To see how they can be of service to you, go online to wjyaengineers.com.
No matter who you are or where you are, CNB Bank makes it easy to take care of life's necessities, like paying Uncle Rick back for lunch, or depositing that paycheck for dog sitting. And even if you prefer to bank the more traditional way, we still rock that too.
Welcome to CNB Bank.
Experience better banking at CNB Bank.
In an order of 6 wings. If Ford doesn't give the answer over the air, you know what I'm about to answer.
I'm not going to answer anymore. You keep asking me all these questions, and this time I answer, I get yelled at. I shut up.
Here we go with the Wildcats, 2nd down and goal from about the 3-yard line. Troop in the backfield, and Ben looking to pass. Going to throw a little fade pattern to Kaufman. He hauls in another touchdown pass deep in the left corner of the end zone. Drew Kaufman, his 2nd of the night, 15th of the season. Ben throws his 20th touchdown pass of the season, and the Wildcats something to cheer about again. It's 42-13 with 11:49 left in the game. Well done.
That wasn't a second teamer back there. He beat Myrick at the corner and beat him good. So, as I said, the Homer's skill people are every bit as good as what Guilfoyle has, but those people up front, tough to match up with those kind of guys.
Looks like Homer-Center is going to go for 2 here.
See if they run their little tricky play they
have. Troop in the backfield. They have Mock and Kaufman now in motion behind the formation, and they do run a reverse. And Mock going to run the pass, and does Schmidt haul it in? He can't haul it in. He was open, and Travis just misfired a little bit. So they did. You called that, Ward. The old Eagle special. I think the Wildcats have a different name for it. It would have worked, but the pass a little bit off target. We're going to come back with you on our 4th quarter action being presented by Crimson Wealth Management. 12 plays, 80 yards, took 6:51. Well done, Homer-Center. Drew Kaufman, another touchdown reception. It's 42-13 on an IRMC playoff sports night on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
Christy Sweet was diagnosed with breast cancer at just 32 years old. Fortunately, IRMC Cancer Center, in partnership with UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, is just 20 minutes from her home. Today, after a chemotherapy, a double mastectomy, and radiation therapy, Christy is cancer-free. Learn more about Christy's story and the world-renowned cancer care right here in Indiana at upmchillman.com/IRMC.
Modeling, save yourself some steps and march to PenningtonSpecialty.com. Randy George at Pennington Specialty takes pride in every job, and you'll see that when you march into PenningtonSpecialty.com. Contact Randy George at Pennington Specialty for a free quote. If you're talking construction of any kind, you should be talking to Randy George at Pennington Specialty. One visit to PenningtonSpecialty.com and you'll see why people have been marching to Pennington Specialty for years. Randy George is also a grad of Homer-Center and is Wildcat proud and wishes the team the best of luck on their march to a district championship.
Back with you, Ben Schmidt, teeing up the football with 11:49 to play in the game. We do have another Bruno's trivia question that we'll be presenting. There's an onside kick, big convenient hop. And one of the up men, Adrian Johnson, took that hop and falls on the football right around midfield.
Yeah.
Shady McCoy, for good measure, touches him down. Wildcats, I mentioned, will have a big chunk of their line back next year. They're going to replace Ben Schmidt, of course, which going to be a huge void. Cole McInally likely will be the starting quarterback, but that will be settled in the offseason and summer camp, and who wants to work hard and put in the time. But Isaiah Bentz is going to be back. He's only a sophomore, 6'4", 281. We'll get back to that. Guilfoyle from midfield, and Keegan Myrick gets around Caden Brown, breaks into the loose, and they miss him at the 35 and finally drag him down inside the 25-yard line. Michael Krajosik and Ben Schmidt finally stopped them.
Yeah, the defensive alignment there allowed for that. There were 3 guys stacked to one side and 1 to the far right, and Myrick was able to get into that gap, and off he went. Had him in the backfield again, did not finish him.
Myrick to the 22-yard line, so my math says 28-yard gain. Big game here tomorrow, Southern Columbia and Richland. Speaking of winning streaks, of course, Homer-Center stopped that 59-game BG streak. I'll tell you about a big streak after this play. Myrick takes the direct snap and inside the 20, short gain to about the 19, maybe the 18-yard line. Defensively for the Cats, Mason Bell on the stop along with Riley Clevenger. How about this, Ward? Tomorrow, Richland, AA District 6 champ, playing Southern Columbia. Southern Columbia's winning streak currently stands at 88 games.
You know, we did the Penns Manor game out when they played Southern Columbia, and they virtually had 2 full teams dressed out there that could have played either way. They were that good.
Let me clarify that. 88-game regular season winning streak. Overall, it's only 57.
Oh, that's
how can
pretty pedestrian there.
Yeah. Not as impressive as I first thought. Myrick, little jump cut, and does a good job. Wildcats had some penetration there from, first of all, Nick Manzanilla, but Nick couldn't quite get to him, and Mason Bell with another tackle. Mason's going to be one of those players that are back. Remember, Homer-Center lost a key player from last year's team who had a good sophomore season to an ACL injury. And, geez, it's funny, I remember the injury. Noah Henry is the player I'm thinking about. That will be a player that will be welcome back. They missed him dearly. He was a very good linebacker last year. And we'll see where he comes back next year. 3rd down and a yard from the 13-yard line. Myrick again has a first down, plows his way to the 7. Hanging on from behind is Mason Bell again. Getting up off the bottom of the pile for Homer-Center is Nick Manzanilla once again. On the offensive line for Homer-Center, Micah Hurd will graduate. But Sage Bernard, a junior, he'll be back. Sophomore Isaiah Bentz will be back. Vinny Taglietti, certainly a promising player. He's only a sophomore. He'll be back. Michael Yunt, a junior, he's back. And you plug in maybe a Noah Henry on that line, and you have a pretty good offensive line. It's going to be a different type of team next year. Janacek, kind of a little stutter step motion behind the play, and keeping the football off of the play fake and waltzing into the end zone is the Southern Huntington transfer that came in this year, Hayden Garner, and he scores from 7 yards out, and it's 48-13 Guilfoyle.
Just no answer for this. It's multiple offensive sets. They run. They do a nice job in their option reads, and they're just clearing Homer out on the edge there. That they get sucked in on that play fake, and it's nobody home.
No, and Homer-Center didn't do themselves any favors here tonight with the way they started this football game. They needed to start and play well and play with confidence, and it just didn't happen.
They needed to get the lead, and it never happened.
There's a kick that might have been partially blocked by Ben Schmidt. I think it was. Somebody, or Riley Clevenger, somebody came up the middle, and not old, but Devin Wyan, he's a senior, actually, but that's still not old. He's young. He had missed an extra point all season long, and tonight, 2. One kicked wide left, and that one partially blocked. 8:38 to play in the football game. Bishop Guilfoyle on their way to a 7th District 6 championship. 48-13, they lead Homer-Center on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
This is the Tire Man, James Cypress from Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center at Luther Ford, with bad news and some good news. The bad news is winter is coming. The good news, if you need tires, we can help. Buy 3 tires and you'll get the 4th one free. Plus, we offer at least 8 of the most popular tire brands in the country. The Tire Man will also throw in free lifetime tire rotation and a free alignment check. We will match or beat any competitor's price. But hurry, offer ends November 30th at Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center at Luther Ford, Route 119, Homer City.
Changing the question. I'll text you the answer. On the return, here comes Ben Schmidt, and Ben Schmidt is powering his way up the left sideline and knocked out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. So the Wildcats, Ben were running with some authority there, and
little frustration is what I would call it. And he got hit a couple times while he was out of bounds, then delivered one back. Nothing called.
So the Wildcats will take over at their 27-yard line. We're going to have a running clock. We are going to get to our trivia question. It's going to be a tough one to finish out. I mean, pizza and some wings. We have an official timeout called actually by Bishop Guilfoyle. We'll take one, too. 8:21 remaining in the football game on an Indiana Regional Medical Center playoff sports night. 48-13 Marauders over the Wildcats. The Bruno's trivia question, final one of the night, when we return on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
You know, if you do this.
Back with you at Mansion Park Stadium. Our final Bruno's trivia question of the night. You can win a large 2-topping pizza and an order of 6 wings. Call 724-479-1160. That's 724-479-1160. Homer-Center was hoping to win a 5th District 6 championship tonight. Not going to happen. Give me the years, or give Michael, our studio engineer, the years that they won their 4 District 6 titles. 4 different years. You give us the years, you win the prize. 724-479-1160. Here's Colin Troop. Troop around the 30-yard line up to the 31. Or, I'm sorry, Cole McAnulty in the backfield. My bad. And good to see Cole back there. I was originally going to use Cole in the trivia question, but we changed it up during the break. 724-479-1160. If you can tell us the 4 years that Homer-Center won their 4 District 6 championships, you'll win that prize from Bruno's.
Second unit D on for Bishop Guilfoyle.
Ben Schmidt hands it off to Cole, trying to get to the corner. He has good wills. And Michael Krajosic, not leading the way with the block. Let's just leave it at that. And that play could have gone for bigger yardage. Instead, it goes to the 35, maybe 36, depending. It looks like they're going to put it down at the 35-yard line. On the tackle for the Marauders, youngster in there, Colin Campbell, and not the one that is involved with the NHL. He would be too old. That would be
Colin Campbell.
Yeah. 3rd down and 2. Ben Schmidt with receivers near side Mock and Kaufman, what careers they've had, and tripped up in his own backfield is Cole McAnulty. He'll lose 4 or 5 yards, 4 yards back to the 26-yard line. Caleb Stevens on the tackle. So running clock, 6:50 to play in the game, 48-13. The score, let's see if Homer-Center just, so they go for it here.
Yeah,
what do they have to lose?
They're going to go.
Player coming in, Aiden Bikina as a lineman, and trotting out, maybe a little nicked up, is Sage Bernard. Sage had injury issues that kept him out a good chunk of last year. Good to see him back, and he's had a good season. 4th down and 6 to go for Homer-Center from their own 31. Ben looking to pass, and he's going to air it out, and it's up for grabs for Kaufman, and guess who? Guess what? Kaufman comes down with it at the 35-yard line. The young man's amazing. He's tackled by Carson Kiesewetter. The play from the 31 to the 35, that'll be 34 yards on the reception.
Fantastic job. 3 defenders were around him, and he managed to screen them off and make the catch. Great play again. And Ben just hung it out there, let him do his thing.
We do have a winner in our Bruno's giveaway, our 4th and final one. I'll give you the answers, too. I don't know that I've done a good job of giving all of our trivia answers. Maybe I have. This one pretty easy. 1st and 10 Wildcats at the 35, and Ben pulls it away on the read option, keeps it inside the 30 down to about the 28-yard line. A.J. Kilmartin on the tackle. Ben certainly has had a rough night. We'll give you his totals again, much like Josh Seister was held down last week, although Ben's had some success through the air tonight. He needed 147 yards to pass Colin Smith as far as all-time yardage, although Colin wasn't an Indiana County football player. We were talking to Tony Cacagna. Maybe I'll pull up some of those numbers, and to give Riley Clevenger has it. He's another kid that could be in the mix at a running back position next year. On the tackle again, A.J. Kilmartin.
No pickup there, 3rd down, probably 3 here.
Colin Smith had 8,683 yards, 5,673 passing, 3,010 rushing. Ben was 147 combined. I would think with the passing yardage tonight, he may have eclipsed it. We'll see if Jerry can get that for us. And Ben, geez, looked like bowling pins there, bumper cars, as he bounced off 2 or 3 white jerseys. Guess who again? A.J. Kilmartin. Jerry Rossai. Does Ben have over 147 yards combined rushing and passing tonight? I think he probably does with a couple of those long passing plays. It is 1st and 10 for Homer-Center at the 18-yard line with 4:10 remaining in the football game. It's 48-13 Guilfoyle. As we flip the Mistretta meter, we've gotten a lot of mileage out of the Mistretta meter, haven't we, Ward? Jet motion, and they give it to Mock. Mock bouncing his way, trying to get to the edge and flailing away, and not getting there is Bishop Guilfoyle's P.J. Pollock, but somebody did. But positive yardage on that jet sweep for Mock, as we are now under 4 minutes to play in the football game.
Again, you see how they stretch the field there. Their defense comes up and forces that play wider, or in many cases they're coming up and forcing it in. That time they were able to get to the edge, but there wasn't much there. Guilfoyle does a nice job of defending. That's something that the Homer D is going to need to improve on next year.
Ben Schmidt entering the game tonight had 8,536 combined rushing and passing yards. And he's going to pass here, although that's a lateral, and Clevenger stumbles. It looked like his cleat got caught in the turf, which sometimes happens when you're not used to it, especially. And they're going to lose some yardage. I think that's going to be a rush, right, Jerry, on that play. And P.J. Pollock on the tackle. So Smith had 8,863. Jerry, you confirmed that Ben's over 147, right? So he passed Colin Smith. Gibbons had 8,206. And Danny Ferens, he's passed him. So what we don't have a good number on, I'll tell you after this play, the pass to Drew Kaufman out of bounds near side, forcing him out of bounds. The younger Kiesewetter, Carson, who's a sophomore, down to 2.5 minutes to play in the game. We know he had some punt returns and kickoff returns, but the shorter kickoff returns, I don't have good numbers on those. It would almost have to go through video, because what we're trying to determine, we think he's over 10,000 all-purpose yards, but we'll have to announce that at a later date. I'll give you a homework assignment.
Yeah. Homer could go right back to that little quick out to get this. They need about 3.
4th down and 3 from the Guilfoyle 11. To the left of Ben Schmidt is Colin Troop in the backfield, and Ben takes the direct snap. He's going to throw over the end zone, deflected away by Carson Kiesewetter, and Guilfoyle Marauders defense is going to hold and take over. So good drive, but comes up short.
They just tried to hang it out there. Just the defense was back. They had 3 people in that area. They did a nice job of taking that away. It wasn't much chance.
And what do you know? We have a media timeout. Amazing. 1:53 remaining in the football game. Indiana Regional Medical Center playoff sports night continues with the score: Guilfoyle 48 and the Homer-Center Wildcats 13 on an IRMC playoff sports night from our S&T Bank broadcast booth. Relationship banking, one customer at a time. We'll peer out at the final 1:53 when we return on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
No matter who you are or where you are, CNB Bank makes it easy to take care of life's necessities, like paying Uncle Rick back for lunch, or depositing that paycheck for dog sitting. And even if you prefer to bank the more traditional way, we still rock that too.
Welcome to CNB Bank.
Experience better banking at CNB Bank.
For more than 100 years, the Indiana Regional Medical Center has been your #1 health option, always striving to bring you the latest, most innovative medical care, like urgent care, now available in Indiana at MedExpress at 2128 Oakland Avenue. IRMC and MedExpress have formed an exciting new partnership for urgent care services. So when you have a cold or the flu, you've injured yourself and need diagnostic services for a sprain or fracture, your lab work, or have some non-emergency health issue, visit MedExpress, 2128 Oakland Avenue in Indiana.
Back with you at Mansion Park. We'll run off the final 1:45 of this football game. And the younger Kesey Wetter, Connor, let me get it straight here, Carson. And he has the football around the left end. And we have a younger Homer-Center defense in there as well. And they're chasing Kesey Wetter, who takes the football all the way up to the 38-yard line. We want to congratulate our final winner tonight, winning a large 2-topping pizza, order of 6 wings, Elaine Costello of Indiana. Romulos Dokos, maybe his dad's listening or watching in Greece tonight. We say hello if you are, Mr. Dokos. So Elaine Costello, you know who that is, the mother ward of Jesse and Ian Lee, who was the answer of one of our earlier trivia questions. Who did Ben Schmidt break the rushing record of? That was Jesse Lee, and Jesse broke Ian's record. Wow, they were outstanding football players.
Oh, it's a great
I
players.
see Jesse every so often now as he goes to school at IUP, and he's working at Mistretta's. Hello, Jesse, if you're out there. Your mom obviously is, and she just won some pizza and wings for you to eat. Here around the right side, a ball carrier with running room into Homer-Center territory. It's Dylan Conrad, and he takes it all the way to the 30-yard line. They momentarily stop the clock. Logan Henry on the stop, along with Austin Zenizak. I think that's Dan's son, right?
Yeah, a lot of guys are getting a chance to play here and get on the field. You know, this is a great accomplishment for the Wildcats. You know, to get to this game is not easy, and they've been here a number of times. We've had the pleasure of giving it to them.
No team has gotten to District 6 championships in the Heritage Conference more than Homer-Center. Connor Kesey-Wetter, with 30 seconds to play, has a motion man, Conrad, and they hand it to him around the left end. Roland trying to get to him. He does, and drags him down as he gets to the 20-yard line, and we're down to 18 seconds to play.
I think Guilfoyle is going to move on, Mark. Not from just tonight, but I think if they play next week, I think they're going to go to the state game.
Heritage Conference, Homer-Center leads the conference with 4 championships, but not tonight as the clock strikes triple zeros. Homer-Center got off to a bad start, never recovered, and Guilfoyle flexed their muscle. A heck of a season for Homer-Center, but it comes up short in another trip to the District 6 championship as the coaches exchange pleasantries down below. But Guilfoyle wins it 48-13. Head coach Greg Page will join us on our post-game show. Stay with us for that. First Commonwealth Bank post-game show up next. Congratulations to Bishop Guilfoyle. They win their 7th District 6 Class A championship. 48-13, the final score on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network.
I'm Pastor Katrina Lottie from Homer City United Methodist Church. We are honored to be able to support the Homer-Center Wildcats. This has been a difficult year. We want to let you know that you are not alone. You are seen, you are heard, and you are loved. We are open for in-person worship on Sundays at 9:30 a.m. with the wearing of masks and social distancing. Our sermons are also available on our Homer City United Methodist Church YouTube channel. Come and be encouraged.
love the holidays at Graham Graham's, but it's tough to...
Relax.
The Dish guy heard us. Said with the Dish Anywhere app, we could bring the comfort of our home TV along with us. Live TV, on demand, even our DVR shows.
Feel good shows.
That put us right at ease. Mostly.
So many eyes.
Take live TV, on demand, and your home DVR anywhere. Dish, tuned into you.
Wildcat fans, this is Coach Greg Page. I would like to thank Wildcat Nation for your support, and I especially want to thank the Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club for making tonight's video presentation possible. The Bears Midget program has provided a foundation for Wildcat football for decades. Through the growth of the boosters, they now impact many of our sports here at Homer-Center. From our team, we say thank you, Homer City Area Athletic Booster Club, for making a big difference in our community since 1958.
Maybe you've heard of the Colonial Experience, but did you know that begins before you even walk in the door? At shopcolonialcars.com, we bring you a convenient way to begin your car shopping experience. Browse our selection of vehicles, and then come on in for the rest of the Colonial Experience. That's a lifetime warranty, lifetime state inspections, and more on your new vehicle, and a promise to keep working for you, even after you drive off the lot. Because giving you unparalleled service is what we do. shopcolonialcars.com.
Made it 7-0. Wildcats went 3 and out. Guilfoyle starting a drive at the 7-11 mark at the Homer-Center 43 after a short 26-yard punt. And 9-play, 43-yard drive that took 4 minutes and 25 seconds. And Myrick, again, the run at the 2:46 mark. Wyant's extra point was no good. First miss of the season. It was 13-0. Wildcats then started at their own 21. Got a 9-yard gain, first down of the game from Ben Schmidt. Had it at the 32-yard line. They were faced with a 3rd down and 11.
Number 8, Hayden Garner. Number 9, Devin Wyant. Number 10, Michael Lamb. Number 11, Brandon Rosser. Number 12, Ryan Donahue. Number 13, Cooper Rother. Number 14, Carson Keezy-Wetter. Number 15, Anthony
Extra point from Schmidt was good. 5 plays, 79-yard drive that took 2:13, 13-7. As we headed to the second quarter, but at the end of the first, Guilfoyle hit another big pass play, 37 yards to Cooper Rother, that took the football to the Homer-Center 31, and a 7-play, 68-yard drive ended with Keegan Myrick on another short touchdown run of a yard. Took 8 minutes. The drive took 3 minutes, 21 seconds. At the 8:57 mark, it was 21-7. Then a real backbreaker. Homer-Center with the ball at their own 20. Ben took the direct snap. They had pressure up the middle. He just tried unloading it at the feet of a Wildcat receiver, but it hit a lineman, we believe, and bounced up in the air, ricocheted around. Guilfoyle intercepted it and returned it to the 2-yard line. And just like that, 1 play later, Keegan Myrick, a 2-yard touchdown run. Devin Wyant's extra point made it 28-7, and the wheels were off the wagon for Homer-Center, and Guilfoyle got on the board in the final minute of the first half on a Hayden Garner. He received the touchdown pass from Keezy-Wetter of 8 yards. It was 35-7 with 49 seconds left in the half. They received the second half kickoff and put the dagger in Homer-Center, sent the game into the mercy rule on a 4th down and goal from the 2. A short jump pass to Andrew Janaszak, and the Wildcats bit, and he was wide open. It was 42-7, 9-play, 60-yard drive that took 5:12. Wildcats came back, though, starting a drive at their own 20-yard line. We had a penalty mess, took forever to sort it out. They finally did, and the Wildcats, after having a 4th and 32, somehow they ended up with a 4th down and 4. They got a 33-yard touchdown pass play to Travis Mock to the 5-yard line, and then on a 2nd down and goal, Ben Schmidt to his favorite target, as it turned out here in 2020.
Seeing our kids suit up for football, cheerleading, or band are once-in-a-lifetime moments our parents just don't want to miss.
Current conditions have changed the way we enjoy athletic events.
We appreciate every opportunity to watch our kids perform, even if that looks a little different this year.
As a community bank, we're happy to partner with Brenda Broadcasting's coverage of Heritage Conference football games. We are proud parents and supporters of our local schools.
Congratulations and good luck to all students, staff, and everyone involved.
For more than 100 years, the Indiana Regional Medical Center has been your #1 health option, always striving to bring you the latest, most innovative medical care, like urgent care, now available in Indiana at MedExpress at 2128 Oakland Avenue. IRMC and MedExpress have formed an exciting new partnership for urgent care services. So when you have a cold or the flu, you've injured yourself and need diagnostic services for a sprain or fracture, your lab work, or have some non-emergency health issue, visit MedExpress, 2128 Oakland Avenue in Indiana.
Just once, you'd like to have a public school tournament. I think back through the years of Blairsville and Bishop Carroll and on we go. 19 out of the past 23 with private schools. Percentage-wise in District 6, there just ain't that many private schools. But that's the way it goes. And until someone has the courage to address it, the beat will go on. Homer-Center's done remarkably well to defeat Bishop Guilfoyle on a couple of occasions. Coming back, word with the stats or the coach, whatever comes first on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network. Game show, 14th year head coach Greg Page. And Coach, you knew this was going to be a tough matchup with Bishop Guilfoyle tonight. We thought one of the keys would be, and I'm sure you did too, you wanted to get off to a good start, and that didn't happen. Really, the offense was like out of sorts for a while, starting with the opening drive.
Yeah, you know what? I got to give a lot of credit to Guilfoyle and Justin and his staff. I mean, they were ready to play. We felt like we were. They jumped on us early with the first drive and got a big play. And we made some mistakes. We did, and they took advantage of those mistakes. That's what championship teams do. We knew it was going to be a tall task ahead of us tonight, and you can't do those kind of things. It wasn't really the penalties. It was the turnovers and, putting ourselves back behind the sticks with, some drop balls and things like that. But, they pounced. We made a couple plays. It just wasn't enough. But you can't question the gritty effort of our guys. They stayed with it in the second half and kept battling.
Yeah, they jumped off to that 13-0 lead, and you got the 68-yard pass play from Drew Kaufman, from Ben Schmidt to Drew Kaufman with 25 seconds left in the first quarter. That's where you really wanted to make a stop. Although, before you comment on that, I want to go back to the very first possession, because after a tough start offensively, you had a 3rd down and 7, a chance for the defense to immediately get off the field, and they hit a 50-yard pass play. That really helped set the tone for them too, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a backbreaker. I mean, it's just their kid, they got good athletes, and the kid made a really good throw out there. He makes that throw. Their guy has a step on our guy, and it's high school football. And it was a great play by them, and then they went in to cash in on it. Again, those are the things, if you want to stifle them, you got to do it the first couple possessions and let them know, hey, there's a ball game here. We let them jump on us quickly, and it ended up turning on us a little bit.
Yeah, and then I'll fast forward to where I was going. You have some momentum, you hit the big pass play, and they did again what good teams do. They bounce right back and drive 68 yards on you, and next thing you know, it's 21-7, and then the interception. We don't know what happened on that interception play, and we know it, I think, hit a lineman and ricocheted around, and the next thing you know, they have it, and they advance it to the 2-yard line.
That was the backbreaker. I mean, in all reality, when they go up 28-7 in a situation like that with the way they were playing defense and their firepower, that was the backbreaker. I mean, that was a tough one. It was not a good play by us. Started off poorly, but then it's one of those things where that was the bend but don't break type of situation right there, and we broke. But the pass play from Ben to Drew was beautiful. It was a beautiful pass play to get us back in the game, and then, like you said, they responded very quickly, and then we did not respond appropriately when we had the ball again. So 28-7, let's be realistic. It's not going to be a good situation coming back from that point. 35-7
at the half. At that point, you're probably telling your team, hey, let's go out, play with pride, play hard, and I thought your guys did that. They did. And it was a little chippy there. I felt like there were some things that should have been called, and that's just maybe frustration of the moment. And we had a situation here. We did push a kid on the sidelines, but maybe some of that's a little bit of theater to try to get your guys fired up a little more and let them know we're still in a ball game. And our kids did respond. They played hard. I mean, we lost to a better football team tonight. And in the whole scope of things, there's not a whole lot of shame in that when you get down fighting in the proverbial way. I mean, it's just one of those things. Well, no shame either in what you and your program have accomplished. 5th trip to against Guilfoyle here since 2013. They're a private school, a little advantage. I'm not going to go off on a soapbox, but a dynasty. And I think on the public school side, you've been a dynasty too with what you've accomplished. It's really, really been special. Nobody in the Heritage Conference has done what you, your staff, and the program has done, and you are to be commended.
I'm going to tell you, Mark, that means a lot. You're right. It's tough. I mean, we are a very small community. Our assistant coaches pointed that out to our kids. We have nothing to be ashamed of. I appreciate the recognition. I think we have done a nice job the last several years in elevating our program. It's tough when you go against those guys, but it's still 2-2 in district championship games. When we win, they're tight nail biters. When they win, unfortunately, they're kind of runaways.
But you know what? We're going to say goodbye to 10 seniors, and I just told them, I said, they made this season with all of the things going on with the pandemic and things like that. They just made it so easy. I mean, it was such a joy, to come to practice every day when we knew we could. We got some kids there, Mark. They're going to go on and do tremendous things. We got some tremendous kids, and we got some fighters. It's almost like the tale of two groups of seniors. I mean, we got some guys that are really strong academically, and I can't wait to see what they do. But we got some guys, man. I'd go down a back alley with them if I needed some assistance, and I do need assistance.
And I do too.
But they're in a good sense, they're brawlers, and they're just kids that, they buy into it so much because they see the family aspect of it. And they see how much, I really truly believe deep down, they see how much this great game can do for them.
Coach, you allow me to get closer to the program than a lot of media people are able to get. I appreciate it. We enjoy doing what we do. I think you know that.
Yes.
And we have the utmost respect for you. And, we flip the page, and you're right. You say goodbye to 10 seniors, and that's part of the job, right? It's always difficult, but boy, there's a lot to be proud of. We talked on the pregame show, both with you and Justin Wheeler. I talked about just the fact that we've been able to get in so many competitions. I just think it's so healthy for the student athletes, the band, you name it, all of the programs. I know your daughter played volleyball.
Yes.
This 2020 has been a difficult year, and even though you walk out of here with a loss, you walk out with your head held high, I'm sure, and a lot to feel good about, and we just hope for better days ahead, and that goes way beyond football.
Well, absolutely, it does. I mean, when you put everything in perspective, we care about the humanity and the people in the world. It's not an easy time. But look around you tonight. You had all these people that had a lot of joy coming to watch this game that probably didn't get to see a game live. You got our student body participating in so many different parts of this function with the band, the cheerleading, this crew here, our football players. I mean, it's just, I've said it before, and it sounds like a cliche, but it's truly been a blessing. And, we made it to the Final 8 in the state in Class A, and we're not knowing, in August what was going to come out of all this. So we're extremely grateful for that.
You should be. Congratulations to you and your fellow coaches, and we will see you shortly. I know the banquet's coming up around the corner too.
Sure. Hey, thank you guys again for all you do. It's really tremendous to be a part of. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Head Coach Greg Page of the Homer-Center Wildcats. Ward got a little emotional there, and but I meant what I said. I mean, what they've done, he and his staff, it just kind of takes me back to when I first got involved in the broadcasting business, and we got used to winning at Homer-Center. Won a couple district titles. I wasn't a part of the first one, but then you're around Jerry Page at Laurel Valley. Boy, the chip doesn't fall far, or the acorn don't fall far from the tree, right?
From the tree,
and the chip doesn't fall far from the poker table or whatever. But anyway, we've been really blessed. We really have.
We've been spoiled rotten, Mark, and I've said it many times. I am so proud of the program. Always have been. I point to just the fact that they've been to these games. Some teams never get here. We just never appreciate that fact. They don't get here. We've been here so many times, and but for the private schools, and that applies not just in football, but it applies in the basketball program too. And I've gone on my soapbox there. It's a school that has built a very proud athletic system, coached by some very good people. And we're just a part of it, a very small part, I think, but I sure appreciate their cooperation. And
All
certainly what you do to bring this back, I mean, this is just far and above what you get in normal school.
Well, thank you, Ward, and we want to thank everybody that the guy to my right, Chris Garitano, we worked with him and his students, D. Ober. We're going to be – are we still on the video side? So we're going to be signing off. We're going to come back on radio, WCCS AM and FM, and give you the stats. Are we all caught up on obligations over there on the commercial obligations? So we're good there. But before we sign off on video, because of COVID-19, I remember Jody Rainey calling me, and we had a meeting at the school. And that was in the summer. And I walked in to school. I told Tony Cacagna from the Gazette this story last night for the meeting, and I poked my head in the weight room. And there was a young man drenched with sweat, and that was Ben Schmidt, one of the hardest working players that I've ever seen in my 35 years or so of doing Homer-Center sports. and the numbers, we'll comment on that on the radio side when we come back. But it all started with us wanting to find multiple platforms to provide for the fans to listen, to watch. You had some hiccups along the way. We did as many games as we could. And our guys, I thought, as the season went on, we got better and better. Thanks to Chris Garetano from Homer-Center. D. Ober, I can't say enough. He's separated by a piece of glass. I thought he fell out the booth earlier, but it was the camera, and it stayed on the ledge. D, I wouldn't want you or me dropping on anybody. But D, I hope you're hearing me. Thank you so much for everything you did, not only with Homer-Center football, Blairsville, Salzburg, and the other games that we did. I've said it many times. I have Dish Network, and you should too. D works at SeaWorld Satellites as one of the managers, does a fantastic job with Ricky Miller, who bleeds black and white too, right?
Yes, he does.
His season's coming up with basketball. So we can't thank you, D. Zachary Vogt, Homer-Center grad, member of the IUP production crew, all of the students that were here tonight, Zach's helpers, Caitlin, Colton, and Sean Seaman. From the IUP production crew. It's a massive effort. Ward, you see what goes on behind the scenes. You said it earlier. It's amazing the amount of cables and everything it takes. I learned some lessons, too, this year, but we couldn't have done it without the talents of the people that I just mentioned. So on our Renda Digital TV video stream, we're going to say goodnight. We'll continue on WCCS with another talented guy that makes it all happen, Michael Burdick, back in the WCCS studios. Our final score, Bishop Guilfoyle wins their 7th District 6 title, 48-13 over Homer-Center. Good night on Renda Digital TV. We're coming back with the stats that shaped up this game when the First Commonwealth Bank postgame show continues on the WCCS Wildcat Football Network. What was? Oh, really?